Hey everyone. Cool. Looks like I've got everything set up right. I was playing with some of my settings, so some things moved around on me. But hey everyone, welcome to Suave Streams. So gonna be doing some cool work today. I got some stuff to announce, and we're gonna be sort of circling back originally to our Find My Rep app that we built a couple weeks ago, and then also probably looking more at the Warzone controller as well. But the focus for today is going to be around competing in this export to independence contest that Spokestack started. So we'll go over all the details of this. I haven't read into it too much, so I'll be reading it along with you all. And then we're going to start building stuff. I mean, the gist of it is basically Spokestack, and I've worked with Spokestack before and you know, got myself relatively familiar with the tooling, but not enough to be dangerous yet. Hopefully that will change today. But the gist of it is that Spokestack is a bunch of SDKs and tooling and everything else to enable voice interactions in mobile apps. So all of the type of functionality you'd get out of using like a first-party virtual assistant like Alexa or Google Assistant, Bixby, Cortana, Siri, all the other ones in these devices we've got over here. But building your own into native mobile apps with iOS and Android SDKs, and I think they've also got React Native. And some of what I think I want to try to do today as well is also bring that SDK over to Xamarin with some binding. So we'll give that a shot. Haven't done that in a while. But before we get started, I just wanted to sort of announce that I got Twitch affiliate today, which is super exciting. You know, we only started this stream a couple weeks ago. We've already built some really cool projects between Find My Rep and our Warzone voice controller, and it's thanks to all you guys in chat and everyone watching and also on YouTube and everything else for joining in and following me, that I could get affiliate and start to take subscriptions and do some more with chat and get more involved with you all, as well as start to join some other teams on Twitch, so that way we can hit a sort of broader audience and bring more people into the projects we work on, and also start to work with more streamers as well. So exciting stuff today. I'm super excited for this stream. This was just announced, what is it, 2 days ago now, June 15th, and today's the 17th. So like right after we finished the Warzone controller video in that stream, this was announced, and I was like, oh, this is perfect. So let's go over the details of the contest, and then we'll start to put together sort of a project plan and everything else. But as we go, as with every stream, you know, hit me up in chat, ask questions as we go. If you don't know something that we're talking about, like, just ask. I'm happy to sort of take a step back and answer questions and go into some more details and all that as we need to go through it. So the announcement of the export to independence contest. So I've already registered, to be clear, so we are able to actually go build some stuff. But basically, Spokestack's announcing their first contest. The export to independence is a community contest to see who can best port a smart speaker voice app to a mobile voice assistant using Spokestack. The contest encourages participants to export an Alexa or Dialogflow interaction model to create a mobile voice app. Participants will be judged on their creativity and innovation on creating intelligent mobile voice experiences. How convenient. This is like exactly what we do every week on stream. So there's some prizes with this. So this is the real reason we're competing. The grand prize winner, so the overall winner of the contest in terms of the most creativity and innovation in creating intelligent mobile voice apps, is going to get $3,000 for the best overall on Android or iOS. And I think we're going to shoot for at least one awesome experience on both platforms, perhaps both Warzone controller and Find My Rep on both platforms, and perhaps we also do some of the Xamarin stuff too. 4 runners-up will receive $500. $5,000 will be donated to the Southern Poverty Law Center on behalf of all participants who may choose to be listed or anonymous in the donation, which is fantastic. All teams that submit a final app will receive a Spokestack t-shirt for up to 3 team members, and every person who enters and creates an account will receive a Spokestack smiley face mask. Okay, DJ First, get out of here with that spam, dude. So dates, it started June 15th, so that's 2 days ago, so we're starting pretty early. And the end is July 15th, so we've got a month. Hey, thanks for the follow. It was a Colonel Kuda. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And winners are going to be announced August 1st. So here's the deal. We're going to compete. We're going to build a few different experiences here. We'll get into all the deep requirements, but basically whatever we win in terms of, if anything, in terms of this prize money, we're also going to donate probably something appropriate to the app that wins. So either something related to Find My Rep or the Warzone controller, and then also probably some animal rescue stuff because that's sort of my dig. So we are already going to be participating in terms of getting the $5,000 donated to the Southern Poverty Law Center, but whatever we win, we're also likely going to donate to one or a couple charities as well, and I'll, on announcements, be able to talk about that a little bit more. So requirements: all submissions must use Spokestack's iOS, Android, or React Native libraries in their applications. I wonder if that technically is true if we bind it to Xamarin stuff. So if we build a Xamarin binding library around the iOS and Android libraries and then go from there, and then build an app in Xamarin. If anyone from Spokestack is in chat, let me know if that's cool, because we'll probably do both either way. Developers are not required to use an existing Alexa or Google Assistant interaction model for submission. We realize many folks use other NLU or custom interaction models for their conversational experiences. That's really interesting because I actually have quite a few other apps that I built just on Voicify, not actually deployed to Alexa or Google, that are using only Voicify's NLU, not both. That might also be interesting. So I'll have to think about that too. And it's open to individuals who are legal residents of the United States, that's me, and who are 18 years of age or older. And although some people have said I look younger than 18, luckily I am older than 18. So we can compete, we are ready to go, and we're going to have to basically go through all the tutorials and figure out our project plan and all that. But to recap here, for those who sort of weren't part of the stream for Find My Rep, which is the first one we'll start with, basically we built... See, I can just go to my GitHub here to show you the source and stuff. We built a voice app called Find My Rep. It's all built in C#. It's running on Azure right now. And we originally built it from scratch for Alexa and Dialogflow. Got them submitted and approved. You can use them on your Alexa devices or Google if you just say enable Find My Rep on Alexa or talk to Find My Rep on Google, then you're in. And then we actually ported it over to Voicify because I wasn't originally planning to, but I wanted to bring in more platforms to put this into. So we ended up building a Slack bot, a bunch of web-based chat bots, a Bixby capsule, and Microsoft Teams bot as well. Or did I already say that? Slack and Teams, web, 2 different web bots, and all of the other virtual assistants we can. The only ones we're basically missing are Cortana, which they've already talked about deprecating custom skills for anyway, and Siri, which is a whole nother beast, but maybe we can integrate this mobile app we're going to build in with some of the Siri Kit stuff. So this is a perfect candidate for it. It's got a bunch of custom stuff in the interaction model. It's got a bunch of Voicify stuff. We still will get the benefit of the Voicify CMS if we do it all right, and being able to change our setup and all that, and be able to build a native Android and iOS app out of it. So that's the plan, and basically the functionality of it is that you can sort of provide your zip code and either a type of elected office or just in general, and it'll go search for all of your elected officials or the one by that specific office and bring you their information, their phone number, their email, and stuff like that, in hopes of getting people to reach out to their elected officials to sort of speak their mind, make sure their voices are heard a little better, and hopefully carry on from there in a successful manner. The other project we've built is our Warzone controller, or Warzone voice controller, which has a few different things. It's also an Alexa skill and a Google action, and it does a bunch of complicated stuff where we talk over WebSockets to an app running on my desktop, which then also talks to an Arduino device over Serial. The Arduino device then sends mock keyboard commands in, and we actually get to play Modern Warfare, or really any video game, using those commands. And we also built a Twitch chatbot for it that we also ran from the desktop, so everyone in chat could play too, and that turned out to be a lot of fun. And I think that this would also be a really good candidate for a mobile app, realistically, because basically every time I want to perform an action right now using Alexa or Google Assistant, I have to say, for example, let me make sure she's muted, Alexa, tell Warzone controller to jump in order to have my character jump. Where one of the things that Spokestack offers is basically custom wake words and a lot of really good microphone listening, automatic speech recognition tools and stuff like that, where I might be getting ahead of myself, but ideally I'd like to just literally set my phone up right here and just be like Warzone controller shoot, or even just shoot if I can keep the session open or something like that, and have it actually execute all the commands, because it's all going to run through the same code. It's still going to hit our API. It's still going to hit the commands. It's still going to hit the WebSocket connection to our UWP app, which is still going to talk to our Arduino and still send the keyboard command. So those are the two I want to do, but we're going to start with Find My Rep because it's actually useful for other people, not just for me sitting here playing Call of Duty or for you all on Twitch chat when I'm streaming it. So let's get started and actually talk about some of the tutorials and documentation. I haven't done any work with the SDKs yet on Android or iOS. I've only looked into them in terms of our integration with Voicify potential, but let's get started here. We'll open up the tutorials, the documentation. There's also a forum there as well. Okay, so we got blogs tagged with tutorial, and I think the developer docs also have a getting started. So I'm on Windows right now. I have my Mac here, my handy dandy 2015 model, still with the old connector. So when we get to iOS stuff, we can do that. Ideally, I'd like to do iOS with Xamarin. That way I can still just do all the dev stuff here on Windows and just have it bridged over here to my Mac for doing the actual builds. But for now, let's start with Android, and specifically we'll take a look at doing it in Kotlin first. And as we're exploring the libraries and the SDKs themselves, we'll look at the potential to do Xamarin bindings. But again, if there's anyone in Spokestack in the chat, I just want to make sure if we do go down that route of doing Xamarin bindings of your guys' SDK in order to use C#, does that still count for the competition? Because I know the rules say you have to use the Android, iOS, or React Native libraries. Technically, we're going to be building a different one just on top of your native ones, but let me know. Okay, so welcome, experienced voice and mobile developer. Start here. That's us. Oh, hey, Mike. Thanks for joining, man. All right, cool. For anyone else in chat, Mike is from Spokestack, so good to know we can do some Xamarin stuff. All right, cool. So we're going to start by taking a look at the Android stuff in the installation, and then I saw there was a different post somewhere that talked about the porting, and maybe I just need to go look at that from the blog. This is going to be super useful as a resource. We'll keep this open as well. Whoops, meant to open that in a new tab. Porting a smart speaker voice app. Actually, I might just read through these real quick. Part 1, 2, and 3, because this is essentially what we want to do. We already have the voice app built. We just would need to get the language model all the way over to the app, and then I'm sure we have to do some scaffolding of our actual app as well in Android Studio or something like that. Okay, this is the Minecraft one. I want this one, which is hopefully agnostic. Okay. For the last several years, intelligent virtual assistants such as Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant become a smart speaker market. One way independent developers have improved these is by creating add-ons collectively known as voice apps. Absolutely, it's what I do every day. Users access them from the virtual assistant. Spokestack introduces a new way to build and access voice apps independent from major virtual assistant platforms, which I still think is going to be sick for our Warzone controller. What you need, voice apps on smart speakers, done. We already know that. I already know what's wrong with smart speaker voice apps and every frustration you could possibly imagine. I have done some work too in doing some custom stuff on Voicify to do mobile voice assistant just using like built-in libraries like the Google TTS and ASR, but it's never great. But yeah, okay. So basically, right, anything that comes into building a voice app, there's always key components. So not even reading the ones on this side, but basically you need the actual microphone. The microphone needs to listen to the audio from the user. It needs to run that audio through a process normally called ASR, or automatic speech recognition. That's basically going to take the audio and turn it into text and understand what the text is. Then you run that through NLU and NLP. That's to understand what is actually supposed to happen in this. This is also a similar process for like chatbots. And this is what you build a language model or an interaction model for, where you define intents and utterances and patterns and everything else to basically be able to run your text against it, against the model, find what the result is in terms of what intent and what utterance it matched with and stuff like that, whatever you can, depending on what platform or tool you're using. And then that text, and that process text, or aligned text sometimes called, is then run through your custom code, right? So that's exactly what we did with Find My Rep. We mixed it with Voicify that handled some of the routing, but we basically said, like, if you say we get the zip code mare intent, where we want to look for a mare by a zip code, we now know what code we have to run in order to make that happen, versus getting like the senator by zip code intent. So that's the third part. Then you do all your processing and you return the object that you want to have sent back, and that usually contains the text that you want to be the output. And then that text is run through services called TTS, or text to speech, and it gets to the audio output, and that's sort of that full flow. So from listening from the microphone, processing the audio to text, text to business logic back to text back to audio. So that's basically, I think, what this is outlining. The same sort of thing, except that, you know, right now it's very popular to build those for virtual assistants and smart speakers like Alexa and Google Assistant, like we did. But there's no reason we can't do that with a mobile app, because we already have a device with a speaker and a microphone. We carry them around every day. The most common device used for Google Assistant is still an Android phone. So it's the same concept, except you're building your own and not having to rely on someone else's platform. So cool thing is, right, like in terms of these services, this is going to be handled by Spokestack. This is handled by us in Voicify. This is handled by us in Voicify. And then the way back out is also handled by Spokestack. So we already have all the tools. We basically just got to glue them together. And, you know, in an ideal world, we just don't even have to like think too much about it, because we'll be able to even port our language model, which will be really cool. Okay, so yeah, without Spokestack, you got to do a whole bunch of stuff. And this is what I was saying. I spent like a couple weeks building a crappy POC. So with Spokestack, we get managed hardware control, so we don't have to worry about doing speaker and audio stuff at low level. We get managed ASR. This is like the biggest pain for me that I've ever tried to play with. Custom dialog manager, that's what we do. And then we get to import and export our existing models. So that's what we're going to try to do. And then Spokestack's got the TTS. So like basically this is the only thing that like we have to do. This we've already done because we've built it, especially because we built it in like a very abstracted fashion. And then the importing, I think, is the new tool that was just released. And hopefully we can just do it pretty simply and everything works out. Hopefully our model doesn't have any weird stuff in it. So we got kind of a blend of custom stuff and Voicify stuff. Okay, so this is what I want. Part 3 introduce us to importing an interaction model from Alexa or Dialogflow to create an on-device stack. Is why we built Spokes. Yeah, dude, totally. Yeah, exactly. That's what we did, like the same thing with Voicify in terms of like we wanted to abstract the dialogue management and like the conversation flow. That was like the first start, and the actual like content management itself underneath it. And it was like the worst. I used to build Alexa skills and Google Actions and chatbots from scratch, and it was always just a pain. So I didn't even want to mess with ASR, so thank you guys for doing that. And now we can just handle all of the abstractions, and hopefully everything glues together all right. All right, cool. So part 3, this is where we talk about the importing stuff. Part 1, we did that stuff, yes. Voice apps running on smart speakers use the platform's NLU to infer the intent. Yep, when moving Alexa or Google Actions to mobile, you'll need a different way to perform NLU. Fortunately, Spokestack provides custom NLU models that run on-device. Now, this is actually huge. There are a ton of vendors out there that provide NLU in the cloud, meaning that you have to have an internet connection. But, like, for example, the one I use the most outside of, like, the ones for, like, Alexa and Dialogflow and stuff like that is Lewis, which is Microsoft's part of their cognitive services in Azure. And I've done quite a lot of work with Lewis. And basically, like, you can't just like run Lewis on your device. But the fact that we're talking about running a custom language model on device means that we can get really far without having to send everything over the internet. We'll likely get better performance because we don't have to worry about HTTP calls or anything like that. And that's kind of basically the thing I think I'm the most excited about out of all of this tooling, getting that super good perf out of it. Okay, so even better, you can export your stuff. I have a feeling ours is actually going to be pretty straightforward. Let me actually log in over here. I'm just going to pull this over to the other side and log into our Alexa developer console. That way we can all just actually take a look at our language model. So sorry while I do this on the other screen. Okay, so I'll bring this over here. We've got all of our custom stuff here, including our Find My Rep, which we should go to the development version. So like if we look at our language model, it's basically all this stuff on the left side under our intents, where we have our invocation name that's called Find My Rep. We have each of our intents, government zip code intent, senator, mayor, blah, blah, blah. And then we have the Voicify stuff for general question intent, latest message, start, dynamics, and then all like the built-in Amazon stuff that we can also support. And then we've got like slot types underneath, so like dynamic, number, search query, things like that. This we actually don't need anymore. That was old. And underneath it all, it's just a giant JSON object. So if we switch to the JSON editor, we basically, here's our object with our interaction model, and then it has a language model in it. We don't have to worry about like a lot of the complications of the sections of the interaction model that are called dialogues and dialogue intents and stuff like that are also features for Alexa. Because basically we handle that actually in Voicify, and it's all abstracted. So the only things we basically have are a flat list of intents. Most of them don't even have slots, except for our custom ones that are just using the Amazon number intent, Amazon number slot, and then like the general question ones, which are all just like basic queries. So like, hopefully everything should be pretty straightforward from here, because it's just a very flat model. We even only have one custom type here, which is dynamic, and it literally only has the value of dynamic because Alexa actually sets this on the fly. So this might be an area where we run into some trouble, and if we do, then we can always look at the dialogue flow one, which is totally different. And oops, not that. I want dialogue flow, because our dialogue flow one here for Find My Rep is even simpler because we don't use Alexa's dynamic entities. Instead, our dynamic intent is like able to be populated with anything custom. Plus, I don't think we're even using dynamics for Find My Rep anyway, so it shouldn't really be a problem. Anyway, where were we? Part 3. This process takes what the user says or utterance and classifies it as something the voice app understands, and that's an intent with slots. And for example, turn off the hallway lights. Toggle lights is the intent, and slots mode off, location hallway. Super great, right? So this is all NLU stuff. If you've built a Google action or an Alexa skill, which we certainly have, you've already defined a natural language interaction model using Dialogflow and Alexa Skills Kit. Behind the scenes, these services generate an NLU model for you and make it available to your skills using their cloud services. Hey, thanks for the follow, Sind. I want to pause to point out that you don't have to use the Spokestack on-device NLU for your embedded assistant. So that's interesting too, because that means that we could use something like Lewis if we wanted to. Provides the text from the ASR service. You could choose to classify the text using a hosted NLU's APIs like Dialogflow or Lex or Lewis, like I was talking about. But it eliminates the network round trip, which is exactly what I was talking about. I love that. Faster performance, works offline, which is great. On device. Actually, is this true for everything? I know the NLU will work offline. Does the ASR work offline, or is that hitting an API? Because if we could build the whole thing offline, then we could, if we did it with Xamarin, we could literally just take our existing code that we had and just run it on the client side instead of our ASP.NET API, which would be sick. Depends on the ASR provider. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that would be super cool, because I know like Android's like built-in Google ASR service still requires an internet connection because it's running on the same stack as Google Assistant, and like same with like the keyboard speech. But Google did start doing more stuff with offline ASR, so maybe there's something we can do there. So I feel like a totally offline version would be cool. Although I guess like there's no point in for Find My Rep or Warzone controller, since they very much need internet connection in order to function. So because we need to literally talk back to our local host. Some API levels. Yeah, that's what I thought. iOS 13 and Google Android ASR of some API level both have local models. I thought so. I just don't have experience with those, but we'll see. I mean, like I was saying, either way, for Find My Rep or Warzone voice controller, like they both need to be online anyway for us to talk over WebSockets to our local host here, or to actually do the lookup from the Google Civic Information API for Find My Rep. Okay. To get started with a free NLU model that's compatible with Spokestack, create a free account, upload your existing Alexa or Dialogflow interaction model. All right, so I'm going to make a new account here. Actually, I think I've already signed in with GitHub, so we can probably just do that. Project name. Find my rep. Cool. Oh shoot, I should open that in a new tab. We'll keep these open. I don't think we need 1 or 2 back, but if we need to, we can get back there. And we can always use that as a reference too. Back to part 3, right? Log in, create a free account, upload your existing interaction model. The following instructions for that process are paraphrased from our export guide, which we'll pull open here. Log into the Amazon Developer Console, go to the JSON editor. Is it literally just copy that? Yep. There it is. That was easy. We got a little ahead of ourselves here. Log into Spokestack, click on language understanding on the left, and upload your JSON. Over here, language understanding. Oh my gosh, you guys couldn't have made this any easier. Oh wait, do I need to save it to a file? Did I just like not read that part? Oh yeah, duh. Here, let's do this. I'm gonna open up code using Stream Deck. So new window. Don't need that window. I want a new file, and we'll save this to desktop, and we'll call it find my rep. Did you read? No, Dan, I don't read. I skim very quickly, and that's the best you're gonna get from me. Okay, find my rep.json. Now we need to upload this. Import from our desktop. Alright, are we like training or something? Is that what's going on here in the pending? Successfully imported. If this works this easy, you guys are insane. Damn, well, don't worry, I'm insane. Yeah, I know. It's literally like, wait, there's an import button here. Where do I just drag and drop my text? Like a monster. Email you the files when you're ready. You can download them from the account page. Okay, it'll take a while to import. Well, that's good, because now we need to actually make an app, huh? Okay, so presumably that means we're going to get our file emailed to us, which should go to the same email I use for GitHub, and I hope that's the one I'm thinking it is, and it's not someone from like 15 years ago that I set up. Oh, you guys definitely favor iOS, huh? It's good. We're gonna see how it goes on Android. Models now. Oh, are these like pre-built ones? Is that the deal here? You guys had some like pre-built samples? That's awesome. Okay. Then let's get started. Let's make sure I did the rest of this right. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Yeah, I literally just didn't read the one line. Alright, we're gonna need to skip this stuff, or we can infer some stuff from Android. Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna get Android Studio running. I haven't opened Android Studio on this machine in a while, so we probably also have to update, or we can work with the current version. But what I'm thinking we'll do is get... Also, that's massive. Sorry if you do like the massive settings. It's definitely not staying that way. It's too big. Settings. Let's do like 24. Is that still readable for you all? Is that... I felt like that didn't change at all. Okay, we're just gonna make a new one anyway. New project. Let's see. I kind of want to see what like the output looks like. So maybe we shouldn't have closed the one with the Minecraft app. All right, so we're gonna have like a button down here that we can like tap and start listening to. I like the little loading animation. Pull in stuff. I want to see if there's any other UI. We might just need to literally have like a floating action button, and that's all we have to worry about. If so, that would be sick. So let's do this. We're gonna start with just basic activity. This is gonna come with a floating action button for us, which is neat because we're just gonna end up centering that and then making that our little microphone button. And I think that's probably fine. Or we could always do full screen and have like a cool animation playing while we're listening or something like that too. We can always do that later. Okay, let's do it. We'll just start with basic. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, we're gonna call this find my rep. And we're not saving it there. We're gonna save it. Actually, you know what I want to do? I have it up in the GitHub UI. I want to switch to find my rep. Did these not push last time? What? How is this? What do you mean this is in a published repository? Oh, I think we were using the Team Explorer before, and now it's going to be a pain. Bad credentials. Okay, whatever. We're going to keep just moving along here. Find my rep in source. We're going to just make a new folder here called Android. That's fine. In there. Language Kotlin, definitely. I don't mess with Java anymore. And minimum, we're gonna. Is there a minimum for Android that we need? I imagine there is for some of these APIs. Let's go take a look at like some getting started stuff with Android. Gotta add some dependencies. Oh, at least you guys use Kotlin too. Thank you. Okay. I'm just gonna make it like the min version something high just to be safe. Let's just start with like 8.0. That's fine with me. And no, we're hopefully gonna use Android X, so we don't have to worry about old support library stuff, but we'll see as we go. Alright, so we're gonna spin that project up. Can we check back on? Don't need this. Don't need this. That's still pending. Okay. We no longer need our dogless demo open either. Alright, we're going to have to do all of our initial builds and everything. 8.0 will work. Alright, cool. Thanks, Mike. Unable to create instance of something. Probably because I've got old versions of stuff. Can we do a sync again? Or is it still running some things? Okay, that's fine. I don't like that error though. Sweet, just a generic Java-lang instantiation. Type details. Why though? Let me make sure I have the right stuff installed. Okay. Partially installed, update available on these. What am I missing here? The worst part of Android development is managing these stupid SDK versions. Fine, actually. Yep. I accept your license. Let's get all this stuff updated. I think we're on like a decently old version of this too. At least a month or so old of Android Studio. All right. See if I can't remember my shortcuts. Can I rebuild, or do I need to do a Gradle sync again? Linked exception. Gosh, I can never remember my way around this. Alright, let's start by adding our other dependencies anyway that we're going to need from the getting started stuff. First you need to declare the Spokestack dependencies in your project. You'll need to download the Android NDK to add the following projects to your top level build Gradle. Gradle. Alright. I keep trying to like to our top level or our project level. Actually, you know, I need to get this like fixed again before I keep going. Is a bit more stable. Yeah, I mean it's only the minimum version. Our target version should still be latest And we did just update, hopefully anyway. I don't care for code styles. Stop. What is wrong with this? There's our manifest. See our main version. Compiling against 28. What's 28 is 9.0, I think, right? Okay, either way. Let's get this Maven repository up. Oh my gosh. Am I in the right one? No. Gotta love having two of these. Repositories. Sync. Still failing to sync. Gotta love just like literally file new project, just blows up. Didn't have write permissions to the Android SDK location. I believe that. I have a feeling that our SDK is pointing to the Xamarin location. Where is this setting? I always forget. File settings, appearance, behavior, system settings, Android SDK. Not sure why that's under appearance and behaviors, but sure. Appearance and behaviors, system settings, Android SDK. Should not contain white space. That's probably why. Thanks, Windows. I think we have a different location for this from using it on Windows. Let me open Visual Studio real quick. Let's see. We'll pull up Find My Rep API. It's over here on my other model. I'll pull it over in a sec. As I think we're gonna end up having duplicate Android SDKs, which is just bad. Xamarin, Android settings. Yeah. That's archives. Whoa, don't do that. No, okay, it's put in the same spot. It just doesn't like that there's spaces. I've 100% ran brand new apps from here though. Is there like a different shorthand I can use here maybe? Or we can always move it. Hey Tofrog, thanks for the follow. Can we safely move this? I'm gonna look it up before I do it. I wanna know if I can move the Android SDK folder before things blow up. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. To be safe, we're gonna close all this stuff and we're gonna move our Android SDK, which is currently here. So we're gonna grab that. Actually, we can. Yeah, we're gonna grab that. And we're gonna put it like directly on C. So basically let's just take the whole Android folder. Oops. And we're gonna cut it and drop it right here. This still is not closing. Be gone. Don't do that. Alright, let's see. Oh, it's gonna be massive because it's gonna have all like the emulator image. Oh, wow, never mind. Just kidding. That was super duper fast. Okay, back in Android Studio. We're gonna need to update it in both places though. Otherwise, when we get to Xamarin, it's just gonna start throwing errors at us too. All right. Now we gotta go fix it. Oh, cool. Throw it right in my face. Alright, we want C, not program files. Why can't you find it? There it is. Boom. Alright, now we got a sync starting again. Is it going to be happy this time? Go, go, go. It's making it so much further. Okay, while we have this up, we'll just boop, change that too. Okay. This still feels massive. I feel like this did not respect my settings change. Editor, font, like 24 is still huge. Okay, that's more reasonable. This is also too big. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to get my phone plugged in because I don't want to bother waiting for emulators to spin up and seeing how much that destroys my desktop here while also trying to stream. So let me get this set up and we'll get Visor going so you all can see it too. Basically make sure our little Hello World sample app works, and then we'll get the rest of the dependencies working with Spokestack. So let me turn on Do Not Disturb so you guys don't see when my wife texts me asking if I'm still streaming. Let's see. Okay. Visor. View. And let's run this. This is my dog. His name's Bentley. He makes weird faces and I take pictures of him. He might make a feature on stream at some point. I also have my other dog as my other lock screen, and we also have another foster that we currently have that's super cute. So if you want to see those dogs, let me know in the chat. Okay, hello first fragment. Okay, we're doing fragment stuff. That's already more than we need. We got a floating action button that says that we just get a snack bar. We got action settings here. Cool. I already dig the color too. Although we should probably change it to match our icon color everywhere else. Alright, cool. So everything's working here. Let's go to this, to our activity, and we'll keep our main, and let's just sort of trim the fat here. So we'll keep the fab, and we can keep the menu for now, I guess. And that, we basically just don't need our fragments. We can just run everything for the main activity probably. So let's just get rid of these. Delete anyway. I know what I'm doing. Alright, we get fragment first and second. We don't need those. Yep, delete anyway. Content main is going to yell at me right now because it's looking for the fragments to be embedded, and it's not going to be. So you can get rid of this. And then this our activity main should just be pointing to our content main. Okay, so now if we rerun, we should just have our floating action button. There we go. I really got to pay for Visor if I'm going to be doing mobile stuff on stream, so you guys don't have to see ads. Alright. Now we can actually follow along with the docs. Alright, now we need this actual dependency for Android native dependencies. Got too many IDEs open. I know. I haven't been doing a lot of mobile stuff lately. I had a paid version of Visor for a while when I was doing a lot of conference talks with mobile demos. But lately it's been all voice stuff. So I've been doing mostly that and not having to really worry about the mobile stuff. So I just kind of let my visor stuff pass, and I was doing the old monthly one. Is this the one we wanted the project route, right? I think I put it in the right spot. Yeah, okay. Now for the modules one. Alright, I'm just gonna pin these. And damn, we can buy it on stream if it makes you feel better. Visor's such a cool project, like I definitely need to pay for it. Alright, Android native dependencies. NDK version. Do we not have that set up yet? I need to even go check what the version is that we have. Wait, hold on. Don't put money in my phone. Yeah, I guess that's true. You mean you don't work for Visor? Didn't we literally just... Okay, that's right here. I want to keep these above here. I need to figure this out, so we'll go check that in a little bit. I don't remember. Alright, here's our actual dependencies. So we've got OKHCP with gRPC, Google Cloud Speech, the actual Spokestack stuff, TensorFlow Lite, and Microsoft's Cognitive Services. All the most beautiful combination of tools. Alright. Oh. I'm going to separate these from like the root level ones. And let's go check our NDK version. Oh my gosh, I literally don't even have NDK installed. Ugh, hold on. Wait, that's only the side-by-side. I might not even need that. But either way, we'll get the version. And we'll sit here and wait. So let's keep reading. And we need native dependencies. So we're going to need this. Alright, so let's talk through the steps. Essentially what we want to have is like this little floating action button we've got. We're going to center it first of all, just so it looks nicer. And basically we want to be able to tap that, open up the mic, listen to the audio, run it through ASR, run that through our NLU, which hopefully the model will be done exporting soon. We'll get to that later. Run that through our API calls to Voicify to do the dialogue management. And then come back out and run it through a TTS. So hopefully we'll be good to go there. Hopefully. I mean, that'd be sick if we can get it working that quickly. Alright, finish with that. What is my NDK version though? I didn't copy it down. No, not that. Can't remember how to find my NDK version. Yeah, that's the one. Boom. Hopefully, anyway. Alright, we still got one more dependency to grab too before I forget. We got the native dependency. And I don't think we start with any native dependencies, so we should be able to... Yeah, alright, yeah. Right? We don't have any up here. We're good. Okay. To enable voice control, your app needs three things: proper system permissions, an instance of Spokestack speech pipeline, and a place to receive speech events from the pipeline. All of this we're just going to run from the main activity like a bunch of monsters, and just throw it all in line and do it all quick. I mean, this is a sort of hackathon of sorts that we're doing here, so we'll see how it goes. So permission, we need to record audio. That makes sense. And we need internet if it's not turned on by default. Let's see here. What am I doing? I need my manifest. And we can full screen this again. Okay, we didn't start with any permissions. So basically, the way that Android works is you have this manifest that defines a whole bunch of stuff, including all your activities and everything. So whenever we make a new one, which hopefully we won't, we have to register it here. And we define this activity as our launcher when we start, and basically at our app level we need to also define what permissions we need, and I can never remember the actual format for it. Let's see, Android permissions manifest uses permission don't need the max version either. We basically just need these. I don't think we need... max version's optional, isn't it? Okay, we can just do our minimum SDK version anyway. But basically, we need to have record audio and internet. We'll just put 2 of those in here. Internet. Am I doing this wrong? Is it not on the app level? Wrong manifest parent. Okay, that's what I thought. God, I haven't done this by hand in so long. And record audio. And our min version should probably just be our min target, which is 26. Cool. Can we still build? Default activity not found. What did I accidentally get rid of? Oh no, what have I done? There. Now can I build, please? Cool. Alright, we're building. Alright, next steps. Don't need that. We remembered how to do use permissions. We don't need that anymore either. Yeah. Emulator can't record audio, that's why we got ours anyway. There actually is a workaround for this, by the way. Jenny's emulator can technically record audio with like this extension that ties into the Windows mic, but I don't even have those installed on this machine, so okay. Artifact not found. Could not find Spokestack. Is my Gradle sync not finished or something? I added these dependencies. Basically, we should be able to just save this. Or, oh, no. I mean, this should work, but we might need to move it up here. We'll see. Keep syncing. It looks like it's definitely doing some stuff. It's downloaded a whole bunch of new stuff. Okay, carrying on. Speech pipeline, right? So that's the next thing we need of our 3 things. We need an instance of Spokestack's speech pipeline. So with the proper permission in place, it's time to decide if you'd like to where you'd like to receive and process speech input. In a single activity app, the easiest place to do this is going to be your main activity. That's exactly what we're doing. All right, so we're going to need to import speech pipeline and then add the speech pipeline member to our class. So we'll just go ahead and do it word for word and give these docs a run for their money. So in our main activity Kotlin class, up here with the rest of our imports, we'll now import our Spokestack goodness, and then we're going to want that private member called pipeline, and it's a nullable speech pipeline, and we're just going to initialize it to null. Cool. You want to build the pipeline when the activity is created. Remember that you'll need to have record audio permission for this, so make sure you check that permission before you start a pipeline. Okay, so we're going to initialize it when the activity is created, so we're going to do this in onCreate, presumably. You can do it before our listener. Why isn't it like this? Type mismatch. Required on speech event listener. Oh, so we need... There's probably something here I'm missing. Okay. Many options for configuring the speech pipeline. This particular setup will begin capturing audio when pipeline.start is called and use a voice activity detection component to send any audio determined to be speech through on-device ASR using Android's speech recognizer API. In other words, the app is always actively listening, and no wake word detection is performed. That's interesting. Note also the add on speech event listener line. This is necessary to receive speech events. So I think we need to inherit the, yeah, that's what I was missing. What is it? Oh my gosh. I can never remember my shortcuts between Visual Studio and... Okay, yeah, we just need to actually implement that. Handle speech and on event. We'll put these down below. We probably actually don't need this menu stuff. I'm just gonna get rid of it. We don't need to inflate any menus. I'm just gonna get rid of this. We could always do like a settings or something up there eventually, but for now it's just super not necessary. Okay, so let's look at what we just copy and pasted here. So in the onCreate of our activity, we'll run through the full onCreate. This is where we also register to like pull in our layout. So this is where we're saying like, all right, set the content view to our activity main, pulls in our layout here. And then we set our support action bar, which is just built into the app compat activity. And then we initialize our pipeline. So essentially, we're saying to build it using this profile. So that we've got Spokestack's VAD trigger Android ASR. We set the context to the application context, which is a member of the activity. We add the on-speech listener as this, because that's what we did here with implementing this abstract or this interface. And then we say build. Now, in order to handle this interface for on-speech event listener, we need to implement on event. So what we have here is on event, activate, deactivate, recognize timeout and error. Basically, this is a switch case here. Then we can do different things. We're just going to print line, it looks like. Oh, actually, no. When we get recognized, we're going to call context.let, and then we're going to say handle speech, and we're going to grab the transcript. Presumably, it here is going to have the transcript as a string, but we'll see as we step through. And we can always set breakpoints and actually step all the way through it. But let's keep going through the docs. Okay. So we need to call start as well. Is the one thing that noted up here. This particular setup will begin when capturing audio when pipeline.start is called. This could be really interesting for a sort of difference between like the Find My Rep app and the Warzone voice controller, where you'll notice here, right, it's using voice activity detection to detect audio and speech through it. So it means that it's always actively listening, doesn't need a wake word. That means that if we like, for example, if we set up the Warzone voice controller, basically no UI elements, but just started listening. I don't know if it would work in the onCreate, but we could always do it in a different life cycle of the activity. And just start listening the whole time. And that way, like whenever we get a single piece of text recognized, we actually like just send that. So we could just always be listening, be like shoot, fire, jump, slide, whatever. That could be really cool. Versus like the Find My Rep, where it probably needs to be more deliberate. Like you should explicitly give permission to listen. You should get your response back, and you should explicitly talk back to it. Sort of interesting, two different voice use cases, and I didn't know that both of those sort of situations were going to be supported so easily. So we just need to call pipeline.start. So what I'm going to do for now, we still got our floating action button. This is registered automatically by ID from our content main because or did I get rid of it? Activity main? Yeah, activity main, because we've got our floating action button, and it has the ID of fab, and then Kotlin does some really cool stuff to automatically grab the property here in the initialization. And so we get fab, we're setting an on-click listener, and basically for now we're saying like do this snack bar thing. What I'm going to do is change this to say like now listening, and we'll do a little snack bar, and then we'll also say pipeline.start. Pipeline must be, oh, because it's nullable, so we'll throw our little question mark in there. Awesome. Okay, keep moving on. From text to meaning. If the event is recognized, context.transcript will give you the raw text of what the user just said. That's perfect. Translating that raw text into an action is the job of an NLU, or natural language understanding component. So this is where we're going to actually start to pull in our model, presumably. So Spokestack offers custom NLU models that run entirely on device, removing a network request from the equation. There are also a variety of cloud NLU providers, Dialogflow, Lewis, Wit, to name a few. And this is like where, like in my past experience of trying to do this from scratch, I just used Voicify and like sent the text, but it's not like true NLU behind the scenes over there, so we've actually got the ability to do both still. So if your app is simple enough, you can even make your own with string matching our regular expressions, right? That's like the easiest way to do it. Briefly cover the setup of using Spokestack's NLU. But see the NLU guide for more details. So basically, we need to build a like actual model from our model, I guess, using TensorFlow, like they said earlier. Or essentially, we need to get the model path. I assume this is probably what's going to be generated for me. Where did it go here? Find my rep, right? So now I can actually download this. Is this going to be? Oh, I'm going to have to unzip it. Oh man, I don't know if I can do a tar gzip. That's fine. We'll get there. Presumably, it's got this stuff in it, right? And we need to be able to like pull this stuff into our source code, so that way our Android stuff can talk to it. And then we're kicking off a coroutine and basically saying like let it classify and get the result. And then we've got result.intent and result.slots, which is like exactly what we need. And then we can like pass all that aligned NLU stuff over to Voicify to handle the request from there. Although this, like, in theory, should be optional because for find my rep at least, because we could just send it over to Voicify and see what happens. But cool. So yeah, we're using the global coroutine context, which is fine. We could set it up with a little bit smarter of like scope handling, but because this is like going to be a very basic sample of like tap button talk get response, then we should be good. So let's try setting this up. Now that we've got our model, do I have 7-zip installed? Please tell me I've got 7-zip and I can undo this. 7-zip? Nope. Alright, I'm going to go install 7-zip real quick. Uh, 64-bit Windows, that's the one? Oh, that's alpha. We don't want alpha. We want that latest stuff. Oh, we're back. Okay. Install 7-zip. Please don't make me restart my machine or anything. That would be ridiculous. Oh, it's installed. Okay. Now... .7-zip. Open. Extract files. Okay. No. Oh my gosh. I can't remember the last time I had to do a tar gzip on Windows. Yeah, I know that that's supposed to work. Oh, do I technically need, is it because it's still technically the tar file underneath? Is that why? I think I just did it wrong. Open. No. Extract. Extract. Eventually I'll get the things. Boom, there we go. There's our stuff. Alright, these actually aren't too big. This might get rejected by GitHub for being a pretty big file, but let's move these over to find my rep. And I'm actually going to make a new folder. Oh, no, it does need to be referenceable by Android. Alright, I'm just going to put them here for now. Okay, so we've got our model. I need to learn where we actually need to put this stuff for the cache directory. Yep. It's basically the same stuff that was in there. Where is this cache directory? Josh from Spokestack. Hey, I can stick around right now, but I've caught the last few minutes. One update. We may have some newer documentation that hasn't made it to the site yet. You'll want to update your dependency to 5.6.0 from 5.0.0 to get Android ASR working on a wider variety of devices. Thank you very much for that tip. Is that's still in the same Gradle? Like that's like a stable version. Let's go do that though. Wait, am I looking at the wrong version? No, we're good. We're in the module 1. This one from 5.0 to 5.6. We'll resync. Oh, it's probably going to yell at me because I got errors in here. Which speech context is this? Hopefully that one. All right, Gradle sync finish. All right, we're on 5.6.0 now. Thanks for the tip, Josh. All right, let's do this before we even do the setup for the NLU. Let's debug this and step through everything. Wake up my phone. Hey Josh, no problem, man. This is super fun. Uh-oh, we got some other... Did it not actually do the sync? Fine, always add. Build my app. More than one file was found with an operating system independent path. What? Merge debug resources. Try run with stack trace, get the stack trace. I don't know if I want to run with stack trace. This feels like something that shouldn't have happened. Is it not like that I took these files over? We can let's just move these out to desktop for now. It's like the only thing that's really changed there. Or am I still just due for a sync? No, last sync worked. Build. No, the science guy. Cool, more errors. I have no idea what they mean. Let's get all of this sent over to Google. It's also the error I get. Why would I care about that though? Oh, I might have included files I shouldn't have included. I was just haphazardly saying leave me alone. Sync. Run it. Let me debug. One other thing we should do is move this. Nope, don't care about the content. What is this? Index.list. Was that not included in what we just haphazardly copied from the internet? Ugh. Exclude. Metainf. Dot. Index. Dot. List. Be gone. There we go. Are we actually deploying now? Alright, that's what I like to see. Alright, cool. Now we can step through all of our wonderful code. So we can mostly just step over. No errors. It's interesting it's doing it in like reverse order. That's fine. Step over, step over. Alright, just continue running. Okay, so on Visor, we've got our handy dandy app. And now when we click our floating action button, we should get the pipeline to start listening. Which we do. Important by exit. No. Yeah, fine. But I didn't want to step into this. Step out. Step over. Alright, something crashed. I don't think I actually have the permission request set up, which we need to do. Android, Kotlin, request, microphone. Yep. Okay. So we need to handle the permission request for this. Can we just do this on create, or is that going to give us some grief? Oops. Thought we needed it before we built. That was fine. Oh, actually, we should do this in the click. Basically, want to take this and this, and this we want to have record audio. Context is this. Should show request permission rationale. Explain to the user why your app requires this. Isn't this all built in? Or you can directly request their permission. Alright, we need this. Is that not the right one? So just like taking it, what is this? What is going on? Oh, we need an array. New. God, I can never remember my array initialization. String array. Colin, come back to me. That's where we just were. I'm not even going to bother handling permission to now. If you say I can't use your microphone, then what are you doing using a voice app? Okay. I feel like this isn't what I want. I thought we could. Oh, duh. String array. Can never remember the shorthand. Kotlin initialize string array. Okay. Array string. Now what don't you like? Stop messing with that. Is it just the name? Like, is that why? Is this is this an integer? Okay, do I need the what is the full name here? Goodness. Just that. Can I just request that? Is that what I need to do? Come on. Is it because request permissions? That wants an array of string. We're literally initializing an array of string with a string. Required int. I don't believe you. Int. Is this what you want? Ooh, find sample code. Oh, that sounds right. What am I missing here, other than this? Permission. Can you quickly ask for that permission? Int, like, what are we missing here? Oh my gosh. One. Size 1. Is it because I need the actual index? Little arrow. Technically should be underscore. What am I missing here? Need no value passed in for request code. What is this? Maybe I want to do this. What is the request code in this scenario? Every time I like instinctively hit the wrong thing there. Do we have request code in here somewhere? Where is this coming from? Okay. Should move this all in here. what's the type it wants for this? Is this the string? Permission string. So can we say manifest permission record audio here? Alright, one step closer. Still not sure what this request code is. I can never remember this stuff. Check permission, string and request code. Is this just like, is there gonna be like a shorthand for this? Like, record audio permission code? Nope. Come on, internet, help me out. Make this even easier for my dumb brain. Where is that coming from? Oh, we can give any value, but it needs to be unique for each permission. That is so dumb. Here, take a 1. This should be capital string, because we still have to do Java stuff. Alright. This feels a little better. Let's see if we can't debug it again. Now that I've fought with having to remember where everything is manually. I can't wait to just try to do this in Xamarin and make it so much easier. Seriously. Alright. Show y'all what I'm looking at. If I tap the button, please. Please, no. It's not doing anything. Can we set a breakpoint here? Over. I wonder what it does equal. Oh, we need to actually show the thing in the UI. Alright, back to this example. Is this actually just a show in context UI? This isn't the actual method we can use, is it? No, we need to do something. In an educational UI, explain to the user why your app requires this permission. In this UI, include a cancel or no thanks button that allows the user to continue using your app without granting the permission. Like, what does this need to return, though? I'm just going to go back to my guy over here. Alright, we check permission. We request the permission. Basically, like, I don't think we even need this. Right? I don't need that. Okay. There we go. Request a permission. Oh, you know what? This shouldn't be in the string. This should be the actual name, I think, here. We want this. Again. Don't need these, just see if we can get it. Nothing is popping up. In case you're waiting for confirmation here, nothing. I can click it over here, nothing. We probably need to override this. We're not actually getting the prompt like we're like this call isn't doing anything. Let's see if we get anything here. If we override permission result. Make sure there's nothing else I'm missing here for dependencies. Oh, we did get it here. Request code is 1. Permissions is record audio. Grant result. It's -1. You didn't even prompt me. Is my manifest actually up to date? Let's get rid of this. Don't need these. Alright, that worked. I literally, those max SDK versions that I knew felt fishy were just not required. Okay, so now when I tap the button, I get this. And now if I say allow, we're in here. Hopefully that doesn't break on us, because we shouldn't care. Did we get our snack bar? Boom, now we can start our pipeline. Oh, I got the little did it. Okay, so now what I want to do is put a breakpoint here. Sorry, it's like just continuously listening to me. Let me restart this. I want to re-debug and I want to see what we can get here on the handle speech. I don't need this anymore. We know it starts. I don't know. I can try to turn this up so you all can hear it, because I don't think the audio is going to come through Visor. But if I tap this, get the little thingy there. Hello. Hello. Getting timeouts. Error. Speech timeout. How are you doing today? Okay, we're sort of stuck in an infinite loop here. Hello? Okay, let's see, we got event activate. Event error. What is it here? It's going to be in context. Step over. Event is error. Okay, step in. It is our speech context, and its error is the full thing here, right? We're print lining it anyway. Just want to see what the rest of this is. The cause is speech timeout. It's all running from the speech tracking stuff. I don't know if you can hear it over the mic, but it goes, did it, did it, did it, when it's like picking up and then dropping the mic. If we just let this run, you hear it like over and over again. Right, so speech, I think it finally gave up too. I can try to activate it again. Oh, rip. Can't activate it twice. Already running. So we should also add a check there before we start. If pipeline dot is running. And we need the explicit true. Oop. Because we got a nullable there. Then we want to say pipeline.stop. And else, we'll say pipeline start. So basically, we can use the button as a toggle. We should add our little nullable there. To say, like, if we're already running, just stop listening. Seeing the same error we did before the last version update, the system ASR isn't getting your mic input. I wonder if I need to Gradle sync, because I set it up on 560. So if we go to our module, oh wait, never mind. I need this one. I have the native one as 560. So Josh, is this is the native dependency also going to be 5.6 as well as this implementation? Because I think this is what I was missing. Let me stop debugging too. Hopefully both of them support 5.6.0. If not, we'll find out really quick. All right, let's try debugging again. Yeah, both be the same version. Yep. Okay. All right, let's try it again. We pull visor up. How are you doing? That's the little bidding I was expecting. Okay. So you can hear that. You hear that little did it as I start talking, and then it, like, if I stop talking, it's done. And then when I start talking, it picks up again. That's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. Let's see, like, what kind of text we get back. Oh, someone's at my front door. All right, so if we put a breakpoint, are we still debugging, or are we just running? I want it in there. I think we need to actually debug. I think we're just running. Okay, back up again. Why don't I let me unfull screen this. We'll get it so we can actually see both at the same time. We don't need all this screen just for one window. Okay. How are you doing? Oh, it doesn't like my breakpoint there. My break. How are you? Ooh. Okay, so let's step in. Step out of that. It.transcript. Come on. Show me the goodness. It. Transcript, how are you? Perfect. Okay, so let's try an actual phrase that we would actually say to find my rep. 02110 Senator. Alright, we're gonna step in, step out, step in. Oh, cool, yeah, we have this down here. What's our transcript? Is it still gonna show it to me? 02110 Senator. That's like exactly what we need to actually run against our model. Cool, so we are ready now for our next set of goodness, which is, if we scroll back down, actually running against our NLU. So to recap, especially if you came in later, we took our existing interaction model from Alexa, we went into our Spokestack account, we literally just like drag and drop the JSON file, and then we got this find my rep. This gave us a compressed file that contains our model and some metadata, and now we have that on our desktop. So that's these two. So like if we open our metadata JSON, you can basically see like this is like really close to the same intents that we'd expect to come back from Amazon, where we have our name of our intent, we have the slot, which is zip code, and it's of type integer, and we've got like the other stuff that's built in, like the Amazon stop intent and all that, and this is like basically our structure. But then we have our actual trained model as well, which is a few megs, which is here. It's a TensorFlow Lite model. So basically what we need to start doing is pulling this in. So we need to have this cache directory set up, and we need that file, and I don't think we got this vocab text, but maybe we don't need it. And then essentially we just like say, hey, start a coroutine and let our NLU like classify it against the model, and then we should be able to take that, then run it against Voicify and hit our API endpoint for our Voicify app and see if we can get a response back. So that's our goal here. Okay. So how do we, where does this expect things? Let's read this thoroughly, I guess. If the event is recognized, context.transcript will give you the raw text of what the user just said, which we just saw down here. This is basically where we're going to actually do stuff. Translating that raw text into an action is the job of the NLU. Spokestack offers custom NLU models that run entirely on device, removing a network request from the equation. There are also a variety of cloud NLU providers, blah, blah, blah. If your app is simple enough, you can do the pattern. We briefly cover setup and the use of Spokestack NLU here, but see the NLU guide for more detail, which we have set up. So this is probably what we want. NLU concept guide, usage, as mentioned in the getting started, initializing. The Spokestack NLU is done using a Fluent interface. The configuration properties above refer to 3 required files for the Spokestack NLU model you're using. They're stored at the root of the app's cache directory here for convenience. When it comes time to classify an utterance, Spokestack's NLU does all the heavy lifting on the background thread and returns an async result that wraps the eventual classification data. This custom version of Future exists to enable different approaches to receiving the classification. So you can do blocking calls or you can do callbacks. But basically, I just need to actually take these files. And also, I don't think I got a vocab txt unless I'm just missing something. Right? We got this, and if I extract to that, wait, that's not the right thing. Where did it just put? Oh, I only have these 2 files. What is that vocab txt? Is it just like a list of sample utterances or something? Let me also download then one of these sample models, like the Minecraft model. We'll also unzip this. What did that just create? Wait, oh no, hold on. Yeah, wait, hold on. I thought this, yeah, okay. Extract here. Yeah, so I'm still not getting the same tag. We can try to go on without them. It's fine if we don't have it. We can always try to figure that out later. But we need to actually put this in our cache directory. So Android app cache directory. We've been meaning to get a link up to this, but vocab txt is the same for all models. You can get it from here. Oh, cool. I really hope this link is safe. Okay. I'm just gonna take this all, because I can't like download it as a file. That's fine. We're just gonna take it and make a new file out of it. We'll put it on desktop next to our other one. New text doc. Vocab. Ooh, yikes. That doesn't, is that right? Oh wait, yeah, that's right. This is gonna be like all the words we can think of. Okay. Okay, cool. So now we've got these 3. And this is our original model there as well. Oh wait, no, I do want that. Oops. Is there a way for me to basically just shove this stuff into cache ahead of time, or do I need to like include it as a resource first? I haven't actually worked with this cache directory on Android before, at least not in Android Studio. App specific files. That's fine. Let's get this stuff set up. We'll just assume we can find it in a little bit. Okay, so we want to set up our NLU. And actually, we're just going to copy this whole thing. Because then basically in here we need to do stuff. Oh, there is an Android one. Oh, sweet. Thanks, Josh. Sweet. Oh, it's actually handled a little differently here than the other getting started stuff. Instead of having the pipeline, we just got like one big Spokestack here, right? That's not what we're doing currently. We just have our speech pipeline, and then we're like passing everything through. So maybe we want to do this, but that's fine. This looks like it handles a lot for us. Cool. Okay. Right. Okay. Now I see what's going on. I was gonna say, like, the cache directory thing just threw me off, but basically we just want to throw this in assets, and then we can grab it. Scroll down to the analyze section. You can just lift the cache and code. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Sweet. So I'm going to put my stuff in our main assets. Which actually I can probably just do it from the file explorer. I want these three, and I want to move them to find my rep, Android, app, main, not that, I need to make the assets folder, I think. This stuff then. 3 external, blah blah blah. Place all files in source main assets, directory under your app's root directory. You may manually create the yeah. But the others should have been created along with your project. Files in the assets directory have to be decompressed at runtime to be used. We typically do that by decompressing in the application's cache directory on startup, then on subsequent starts, checking if the files exist, and decompressing again if the user has cleared the cache. Now I get it. This is the check for models method from the previous section of the demo app. It's in the main activity, but you could put it elsewhere for the sake of cleanliness. Yes, give me all of this. We're just gonna shove it down here and for now. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about this. Give me all of that in Kotlin. Beautiful. Do need to bring in some namespaces. Import. Guess I don't really need this. We're just gonna want this whole thing, huh? On create, check mic permission in, build Spokestack, check for models. So we're gonna want to do this in the on create. All the way up here. We don't need semicolons, we're writing Kotlin. I'll full screen this for now. Okay. But these are probably also just statics or constants. Oh, let me just do this. Blocked. Well, I know Minecraft. Looks like I can't actually get to GitHub here, so we're just gonna have to go to Spokestack. go. Show me your main activity. Yeah, there's those ones. Okay. Main activity. I'm just gonna take these. Nice. Actually, I don't need a lot of these. I really just only need these, and this is just a string. I'm just gonna use them magic stringed inside. Refer to our app. Okay, so we're just gonna do com.suavepirate.find my rep. Am I missing? Oh yeah. Version key. That works for me. And this is -1. Screw it. What doesn't this not like? Required string. Oh. Magic strings. We're getting hacky. Okay. So let's just look at the code that we copied here. And thanks again, Josh, for providing that link that I definitely should have been looking at the whole time. So basically what we want to do before we initialize stuff is we're going to call this check for models. We're going to check against this models cached method, which will return a bool. And basically we just check to see if our cache directory has it. And we can do that for each of the types. But basically if we have one in cache, then we should have the others, so we can probably presume that. Otherwise, we want to go get our shared preferences. We want to call decompress the models, where we go get them and cache them, and cache asset is where we actually go get it. We open the asset, we decompress stuff, and we write it out to our asset file, which is referenced in our cache directory. So hopefully this performs all right. We might need to like hit it a couple times, but that's fine. Cool. So now we should be able to actually do all this stuff as is, because in theory these should be set up for our 3 files. So now we can copy these if we didn't already. And down here on handle speech, we can pull in all those lovely namespaces, get our coroutine. Not sure why it doesn't like the global coroutine. Do I like not do I not like the latest version of Kotlin or something? Oh, this means this needs to be a trace listener too. Why can't I get my global scope? Come on. I must just be missing something, or I'm on like the wrong version. Let's see if we can't grab this. Our dependencies. I thought that these new projects shipped with these though. We should take Kotlin version. Alright, Gradle sync failed. 1371. Why? Did I just put in the wrong thing? Is that why? No. See, I thought these shipped fine. We'll do explicitly 137. I thought they were the same. I mean, they're similar. They're like 1.3 versus 1.13. So frustrating. Yeah, import all this stuff. Import everything. This is going to be transcript, not utterance, I think. All right. Let me put a breakpoint here. Okay, so hopefully this all just works. So we have our handle speech. We know we get here. Let's just put a breakpoint here anyway. But we should be able to basically initialize our NLU and then tell the Kotlin coroutine to launch a new coroutine where we just say like, hey, with the NLU stuff, go classify it against our transcript, and then hopefully this just works for us. I don't know, though. We'll see. Let's build. Oh no, we still have an error. I'm not implementing something I need. Yeah. Yep. Luckily we don't have to return anything, so we're just not going to actually trace anything. We could log find my rep message. Actually, we probably shouldn't error. We should warn. Okay, now it's build. Build successful. So let's try debugging here. All right. Mayor of 02110. Don't need that anymore. Run in. All right, so our transcript. That's going to be a challenge for us, but we can deal with that later. Let's actually try to get one that can hit something more simple. Whoops. And we got a crash, I think. Let's try debugging again. And fill some of this space up. Senator of 02110. That looks better. Okay. Let it rip. There's my stuff here. Oh. What do we got for result? Oh no, it's still listening in the background. Give me your result. Show me the result. Alright, let's just do like a snack bar then of like the result intent or something. Just so we can see something. It looks like this is just being a pain because one, in coroutine scopes it gets kind of weird with the debugger because it also just picks something else up because it was listening to me again, and I think we're in kind of a weird state. That and this isn't used. Hey, it's going pretty well. We are at the point where we're actually running against our model that we generated from our Alexa skill. So now we're just going to see if we can't output the result, and then we're going to send it along to Voicify to let that actually handle the routing and everything else. Why doesn't this like view anymore? This should still... Oh, I need to attach it to something. I can attach it to Fab, I think. So instead of saying now listening, we want to see if we can get the result dot intent. Found character sequence. Wait, required character sequence found string. Are you serious? Yeah, it's basically the same thing as learning Kotlin, so it's fine. Is this not nullable? Why can't I do this? Come on, brain, work with me. That's fine, but because it technically can't cast it if it's nullable. Okay, that's fine. Everything's fine. Hey, thanks for the follow, man. Alright, let's see what we got. Basically what's happening is when we tap our little mail icon, we actually start listening to the mic and processing everything. So what we're hoping is that we get a snack bar of like the senator intent or something like that. Senator of 02110. Nope. Crashed. Let's see. Because this should get us back onto the main thread, so we should be able to run the UI operation just fine. It might just be that it doesn't like that. Senator of 02110. I know it keeps stopping. I know. Let me check my output. I don't want all of that. Alright, logcat, go away. Default dispatcher worker. Module with the main dispatcher is missing. Add dependency providing the main dispatcher. And ensure it's the same version as Kotlin's coroutines core. Oh. Ugh, I'm an idiot. Basically, we need like the Android-specific coroutine implementation pulled in as well. Android, Kotlin, coroutines. I could have sworn that Android template started shipping with these because the last one I set up definitely did. Basically, it's just saying like it doesn't know, it can't find the main thread because we don't have like the implementation details. So what we want to do is take that. Hopefully this works anyway. Go to our module, and then down here we want to pull in implementation of org JetBrains Kotlin X, that, and we want the same version as coroutines core. So that should be fine then. And we got to do a sync. And now we can debug again. Hopefully. Deploy. Okay. Let's pull visor back up. Senator of 02110. Look at that! We're getting the right intent. Oh, my face is in the way. I gotta put it over here. I totally forgot that the bottom right corner, which is exactly where we're trying to show all this stuff, is invisible to you guys. My dumb face is in the way. Cool. So here, this is sick. Okay. Senator of 02110. Oh, I might stop listening. Senator of 02110. Alright, let's get rid of these breakpoints. You see that down here? Senator zip code intent? It actually matched with our intent that was original. And look at it, we even got Amazon fallback intent when it was outside the scope. That's sick. Okay. Senator of 01887. Senator zip code intent. Mayor of 01887. Oh no. Okay. 02110. That's the all zip code intent. Oh, that's fantastic. And then we can tap our little button here again to stop listening. Cool. All right, now basically we just need to like take this and actually go hit Voicify and make some HTTP requests. So on top of hitting our snack bar here, essentially, let's just put in a to-do, build JSON request for Voicify, send request over HTTPS, process JSON response from Voicify, use the output speech property to send to Spokestack TTS. All right, so before we get into this, I'm going to take a minute break here, just use the restroom and grab some more water, and then we'll get into all this stuff. And basically, we don't even need these because now we know, and we can just grab the slots and send them up. So cool. I'll be right back. Okay, no more puppy, back to business. Cool, so we basically are at the point where we're getting the right intent back from our model that we created, like 2 weeks ago now, for Alexa, and we need to just literally send the slots back up, and in the intent, and send that over to our endpoint and go from there. So looking at our API, we could either choose to send this to Voicify, which would need to run through Custom Assistant, and we'd have to use the pre-trained NLU, but what I want to probably do beforehand, maybe, let's see, I might even be able to skip the Voicify NLU stuff, but then we'd miss out on the CMS. Yeah, okay, we're going to send it to Voicify. So let me pull up Voicify, make sure I'm signed in to the right account over here. We can close all this stuff because we got our coroutines finally working. And let me just switch this up. Right. Okay, in Voicify, we've got our Find My Rep app, and we have our conversation items for zip code requests. If we look at, for example, like the senator zip code intent, we have it set up where we pass in the request name in this case because we're using the custom type that we already defined, and then we have this US for a senator because what's going to actually happen is Voicify is going to send the request first over to our webhook, which we've already hosted, and we shouldn't have to touch any of this code, but essentially this get senator for zip code hits our endpoint for handle senator here in C#, so we get the zip code from the request. This might be where we need to potentially make some changes for pulling out the slot, but if we do it right, hitting the custom assistant endpoint, we should be good. And then we get the senator and we return the response, and then Voicify handles the mapping and all that. So Voicify handles the deployments automatically for me and the mapping and everything else for my first party types, right? So for our Alexa skill, for our Google Action and Dialogflow agent, for our Azure bot service and therefore Slack. But we're building this from scratch. So instead we actually need to use this custom assistant endpoint. So if we go look at the assistant API from Voicify, we can see all the different endpoints we can hit from each assistant. So we can hit like the Alexa endpoint, which is what we use for fulfillment for an Alexa skill. We can hit all these different Bixby ones. We can hit our bot service, Dialogflow and Google Assistant, and then our custom assistant. So this is the endpoint we're going to want to be using where we need our app ID and secret, which we can grab. And then this is what the model looks like that we're going to send down. Essentially, we need an ID for the request, which we can generate. Then we need a context, which needs a session ID, which we can grab. We're probably going to want we are going to want tracking, so this will be set to false, meaning that we actually want the analytics from this. The request type will be intent request. The request name can be something pre-trained, and then we can pass slots. Now, basically, like what you can do with this custom assistant endpoint from Voicify is you can send this pre-aligned or pre-processed output, meaning that the request name here would be like the intent name, and the slots would be the slots. We'd pass like the senator zip code intent and the zip code slot with the value. And then we can pass the original input. And then basically there's this flag here for requires language understanding. Now, if you haven't already done the training ahead of time, like we already have, then you can just, like this whole thing here can be entirely optional. Or I guess just request name and slots. Like you could set nothing here. Get the just original input, which would be the raw text, and then we'll run that through some more basic NLU that we have on our servers, and then go from there. And then you pass locale. Then you can also pass device information, so including like some stuff about what it supports in terms of its modalities. So for example, if we have a video response coming back, or we have like images, we need to tell Voicify if we can support those. Basically, like in this case from the Find My Rep webhook API, we return the image, like the profile picture of the elected official, if they have one, coming from the Google Civic Information API. So we'll get that as like the foreground image, but basically like we can now add support for that in our Android app. So when we handle the response, we could like show a card, or we can add some cool Android components to it, and we can do that just by getting the background image from the response. Now we can also look at the output response that we get back. And then we'll try this out in this API in Swagger. That way we can validate everything that's going up. Make sure we don't have to customize our webhook at all first, and then we'll start on the Android stuff again. But what we get back from Voicify is a pretty decent sized object where we get just the response IDs. It's just going to be unique. We can use it for tracking if we want. We get SSML, which will be like the raw SSML output. I don't know if Spokestack will support the full spec, but otherwise we also can get basically like the plain text version of the output speech. So if we have like custom SSML, we'll get it there, and we'll basically get like the stripped version of it here. We'll also get any display text or title, a response template if we need it, and then we can get like the foreground image and the background image and an audio file, video file. And then we also get like the session attributes sent back down. We get hints if they were added to our follow-up. We can even get list items sent back down if we're doing like recipes and stuff, and also this flag if we want to end the session or not. So all that stuff we're going to be able to use, but let's do this. Let's try out our endpoint using the data that we are going to get back from Spokestack, and we can just hit it here. So let's see. I got Voicify open. I need to grab my ID and secret for this app, which I'm fine with having public, so don't worry. None of this is secret, and I can always regenerate it. We're going to give it a request ID. We're just going to use like a GUID generator just for the sake of having some consistency. So let's just generate, I don't know, like 10 GUIDs, and we'll just like shuffle through these, right? So here's a request ID, and we'll use this for the session ID. We want no tracking as false because we want those analytics. Request type, we can use intent request. And then for the request name, this is where we can use the pre-aligned name. So like, let's say we got the senator zip code intent. For slots, we have the zip code slot, zip code, and let's say it's 02110. Original input could be like senator of 02110. Channel will be Android app. Requires language understanding, we can set to false, and our locale is ENUS. Now for device, we can give this an ID, and we'll say Android app or Android phone as an example. We can say like no video, foreground images sure, no background images, no long form audio. We'll say SSML works, display text works, voice input works, and text input we'll say false for now, but we could always add it. And then user, we're going to say name is Alex. That's also optional. You really just need the user ID, and we can pass the user ID. So let's see what we get here. We probably have to wake up our webhook server. All right, let's try it again. All right, cool. So look, we got our response back exactly like we expected. So you'll notice, like I said, we can handle the SSML, which will be wrapped in a speak tag, and we even have the break here. But then for the plain output speech, that like speak stuff and the break is gone. For display text, we even have like the line breaks. This, I think, is following Markdown standards. We have no title. We have a response template for image card, and we have the image because our API returned Elizabeth Warren's image because what I asked for was the senator of 02110, which is Boston, Massachusetts. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren. If we hit it again, we might also get the other senator too. I can't remember. No custom session attributes that are sent back down, and we have end session false. Now here's some other cool stuff that we can do. We have some follow-up text here. Would you like to learn about the governor? Now, all of this is handled in the context of our conversation using session data that Voicify is holding on to for us that we set from our webhook call. So if we go into this like get senator response, right, because that's the one we just hit, we get the official response where we're building our response, and down here in the build response, we pass in the additional session attributes of zip code. Now that allows us to handle the responses like, would you like to learn about your governor that we're prompting the user with? If I say yes, Voicify is going to know what zip code I asked for last time and be able to use that in the next request, which means that we can test this here by, for example, saying we've got no slots, and instead we're going to test the Amazon yes intent, and let's just say the original input was like, yeah, sure. maybe not. Maybe we got something wrong here. Oh. We need to be able to handle, I think it's just going to be yes, because it's the custom assistant one, not the Amazon one. Okay, maybe we do need some work. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay, oh, I got confused. We use this in the sample, but it's wrong. Can I undo this? Can we get back into our happy state? Sender zip code. Cool. Yes. All right, let's get back into that state. What I can do, though, is instead of even sending this pre-trained stuff, like if I can get rid of these and just say the original input is yes, and that we do need to do language understanding, then I think this will work. Yep, cool. So basically, we can either try to align it with the pre-built intent from Voicify, but it's a little different because we're hitting the custom assistant endpoints, not the Amazon endpoints. We're actually passing in an Amazon model, which is a little different. But what we can do in our code here on the Android side is basically say like, let's do this. To do, if we get a special case of Amazon yes intent, send the raw transcript instead. So we can use Spokestack's NLU for the like zip code lookup stuff, but we can use Voicify's NLU for like what it does best, which is like the contextual situational stuff where we've prompted for a yes or no, so we expect a yes or no. That way we actually are basically getting the best of both worlds, which I think is really cool as well. So just to recap, we basically need to send this request here. We'll leave this up. We need to send like the actual intent that we find, and we need to send the slot, and we need to basically build this object in JSON and send it up, and we need this app ID and secret. So I think that's all we really need. We can continue to do it in the main activity without organizing anything like smart people would do, because that's fine. But let's see, we can use OKHTTP. There's also Kotlin Fuel, which I've used for HTTP stuff as well. I might just use this. This is my favorite like HTTP library that I've used in Kotlin for a while. So download and install Fuel, Maven and Gradle. Yes, I want just core, I think. Or actually, we want Fuel Android. Yeah, I want these. And we need to go look up the latest version. I probably don't even need the latest version. Alright, so let's go to our module. I'm going to say using Fuel for HTTP calls. Let me find a specific version in here that we want to use. What is our latest? Fuel 223. Okay. And hopefully they're the same. Okay, yeah. They should be the same type. Okay, so instead of using this, we'll use the explicit version. 223. Let's do a Gradle sync. Now, Fuel is super cool. It makes it like dead easy to handle HTTP calls. Oh, we probably are also gonna want the JSON stuff for deserialization. Yeah, we probably do want that. That's fine. Right. So basically, it actually creates like a whole bunch of Kotlin extension methods off of the URL, which like actually works really well with the fact that like we just need to like go in here and just slap this in as a string. So now back in our main activity, like I said, we're just going to do it in there, and we'll probably end up doing a round of cleaning this up, and I'll talk about like best practices for doing the right thing. Let's keep this up. So we want to say HTTP async, and then we basically just join it in with the main thread. So we can kick this off from a different one, and then this is essentially, if you're coming from the C# world, like most of my viewers are, calling join on this, because this is basically going to return a coroutine. We can say join, and it's the same thing as saying await. Like, we're going to actually await that coroutine to finish, and it's essentially saying, like, join with the current threads routine, or the current, like, scope. So you can actually, like, stack routines inside each other and just, like, join all the way up, and you can keep references of them, and it's a whole thing. There's a lot of crazy stuff you can do with it. So we can also do it this way and just get the response string, which I think is what I'm going to want to do, and then pass it into the JSON serializer, unless they actually have the built-in stuff here for getting the response type. Let's see, fuel JSON. I want JSON though, actually, so I can get my models, and then we'll make a bunch of models for our type here. Yes. Yes, this is what I want. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go make models to represent our Voicify data. So I'm going to say a new, and create a new package. We'll just call it models dot Voicify. And I might just put these all in one file, just called Voicify custom assistant models, because the cool thing is with Colin is we can just like one-line data class these and make them all immutable and all that wonderful stuff. So cool. I'm also gonna want to grab these. I'm gonna do the JSON one just before I get ahead of myself. So we'll go to our module. Where's our other fuel? Hopefully they're the same version. If not, we might need to update these. Did our sync fail last time? I think our sync succeeded, right? Okay, cool. We're good, so this should be fine. All right, now, anyway, back to our models. Models, Voicify, Voicify custom assistant models. Now, let's basically go create models for the inputs and the outputs. Oops. Whoa, Android Studio went all the way around. So let's do a data class. Let's start from the lowest one. We can do device is flat. Voicify device. And it's going to take an ID, which is a string. These should all be vals. Val, name, string. And I need capitals because this isn't C#, unfortunately. This is doing val supports video boolean. Let's just like grab this and do it for each of these supports so we can sort of shortcut it. Foreground, background, audio, SSML, display text, voice input, text input. Come on. Alright, so we want supports foreground image, supports background image, supports audio, supports SSML. It's a lot of, it's literally 3 S's in a row. Never really realized that before. Supports display text. Supports voice input. And supports text input. Alright. Then we'll have a data class for Voicify user, and that's going to have val ID string and val name string. And I keep forgetting that I'm not using C# with aliases. Alright, now we also need our context object, and then we need like the whole thing. So we need data class, Voicify, request context, val session ID string, val no tracking boolean, val request type string, val request name can be nullable, string. Sorry, not TypeScript either. We'll get to the slots after. We'll do val original input. It's a string. We'll always send that. Val channel string. Requires language understanding. I don't even know why I'm typing all these. I probably could have just like pasted it and it would have figured it out. This is a boolean, and then our locale is a string. Those are all required. Now slots, we can make a dictionary. So we'll say val slots. Is dictionary a type? Dictionary of what do we need? String to string, right? And that can also be nullable. Toss around a question mark there. Whoa. Get some magic keystrokes. What is the shortcut in here for fixing everything? Making it look less ugly. There we go. That's fine. Alright, now we just need our data class, Voicify, custom assistant request, and that is going to have a val request ID, which is a string. It's going to have a val context, which is a Voicify request context. Not var, we want val for all of these. I don't know why I said val, but type var. We want a device, which is a Voicify device, and we need user. Val, user, Voicify, user. And we'll indent these nice and clean. Alright. You all following along with me here? I don't know why it doesn't like this. Oh, it's just never used. Duh, we haven't used anything yet. Okay. We got our input models. Let's go make our output models, at least what we need to start, which is really just the... Actually, we could just take like this baseline one, basically what we get here. So we'll say data class, Voicify custom assistant response, val SSML is a string, val output speech is a string. We'll always get these. Actually, display text is technically not always there, but that's fine. If we say that we don't support display text, then we won't get it. But that's fine. Okay, then val response template will always be there. Val session attributes is a dictionary of string to object. Can we just do object? Object? No? What's the type for object? Java dot lang Java dot lang dot object. What? Can I not do that? Can I not specify that as a type? Fine, we're getting rid of session attributes. We're not going to use them here anyway because we already use them in the webhook. Boom. Beyond. And we have val end session as a boolean. Good enough for me. Tab it over, I guess, a little bit. Alright. So basically, we should just say, we can handle the special cases for the ones that are baked in, but if we say like if result.intent, actually we should say when result.intent screen this now. We want to do if it's the senator zip code intent, then we want to do something. Use the pre-trained, and then for our else, we'll send raw text, which we should still have because we still have the transcript. Okay. Let's just try with these two, and then we'll clean up the code and stuff. Actually, we can just stack these, right? How do I stack these cases where it's like the same thing? Can I like pipe delimit them? Let's just do this. Let's do this. We'll do an explicit check for each one. If result intent equals senator zip code intent, say var request model is a Voicify custom assistant request, and that's going to be null. We'll say request model equals Voicify custom assistant request, and this needs a request ID. What is the Kotlin generation of GUID? Kotlin generate GUID, just to be consistent with what we did. Oh, thanks, Eric. I knew what I said. Come on, load. Can I just like new it up? Hey, it's going pretty great. I can catch you up real quick. Basically, we're taking our Find My Rep voice app, which is currently built on top of Voicify, and then custom stuff in ASP.NET Core and Azure that lets you ask for your elected officials by zip code and stuff. And it's already on Alexa and Google and chatbots and Slack bots and Teams bots and all that. But we're participating in a developer contest from Spokestack to be able to import our language model and turn it into a voice-driven app in a mobile app on Android and iOS. So we're starting with Android, and basically we took our language model, exported it. That all worked perfectly. Like, we're at the point where we're handling it, and now we just need to like send the HTTP request to Voicify to handle it the way we would if we were using Alexa, and we get the response back, and then we use Spokestack again to talk it out. So pretty cool stuff. We're really close to finishing this with some really ugly code, and then I'll end up cleaning it up and stuff, and then we'll do iOS. And then one thing I want to do is also try to do Xamarin bindings for Android and iOS libraries for the Spokestack SDK, which we'll probably have to do later since we're already sort of getting close to the end of stream here. Probably do it on Sunday. And then I also want to do the same thing now that I've sort of got through the struggling of remembering how to write Kotlin apps from scratch and learning the Spokestack SDK. I want to do it for our Warzone controller too. That way I can just sort of sit here with my phone in front of me and yell commands and have it actually manipulate my my character in game. So I think it'll be a really cool use case. But anyway, where we're at right now is we are just trying to literally generate a GUID. So I think I can just new up a UUID. I think it has an empty constructor. I can't remember. I haven't done this in so long. So let's generate our request. We'll say UUID. Can I just do it like that? Or is it static? Dot new. Random. That's what I want. Cool. All right, that's our request ID. And I think I need to string it. All right, the next thing we need is our context. So we'll create actually we should just create the context ahead of time. Actually no, the context needs to be created on the fly, but we should create a user, which we'll actually do ahead of time. We're going to want our user in session just created at the start of our session. Actually, we should do user created on the activity. We want to have the session get recreated when we call start on the pipeline. That way we can like stop, have a new session, start from scratch, stuff like that. And then like the request IDs and everything else will be generated every time. So let's have a private var Voicify user, user. And that's going to be a Voicify user that's nullable, and we'll initialize it with null. Now on create, we're going to say Voicify user, and we're going to create a new one, and we'll do uuid.random.toString, and we need a name. In this case, we can just use another GUID. Actually, this technically should be nullable, but it's fine. Random, another random, what is this doing? UUID, oh, random, to string. Alright, so we've got our user ahead of time. Every time you reuse the app, though, it will be different. We might want to change that later and like keep it in a local storage or something, but that's fine. Now when we start the pipeline, we want to also have a session. So we'll have a private var session ID. It doesn't have to be like the full user, but it does need to be a string. And then we'll just regenerate the session ID when we start. So we'll say ahead of time, session ID equals, again, UUID random to string. Oh my god. I'm so used to like the Visual Studio autocomplete where it doesn't give me the like curly braces, so I'm like retyping them every time instinctively, whatever you want to call it. Okay. We've got our request model. We need our context. So we're going to have a Voicify request context. And our context needs a whole bunch of stuff. We need session ID, no tracking, request type, and this is where we like specify all this other stuff. So we might want to actually, for our sake, make these adjustable. So if we can initialize it ahead of time and change the things that we need to change, which are going to be slots and the request name, and yeah, if it requires language. So we can create it ahead of time, then we can do that like custom rule for these different types. So let's say val request context. Oh my gosh, it is reading my mind. It is scary. Equals Voicify request context. Now we'll get session ID because we already have that. For no tracking, we want false. We do want tracking, sort of a double negative there. Request type, we're going to use intent request. Request name we'll leave as null for now. Original input, we want transcription. Transcript? Is it transcript? Transcript. I'm going to new line these. It's getting hard to read. Transcript. That's our original input. What doesn't it like? Trailing commas. I don't have a trailing comma. Just let me type in the next type. Channel, Android app. Requires language, we'll say false for now, although actually we'll say true for now. Locale is EN US, and slots we'll say null. Okay, so there's our default. What doesn't it like about this? Oh, we'll actually double bang this. We'll be dangerous. If this is null, this shouldn't be null by the time we get here, so we can live dangerously. Alright, value captured in a closure. Hopefully that's fine. Right, hopefully that's fine. We should still have it by the time we get here. Okay. So, in the case of senator zip code intent, we're still always going to set this to request context. And our user will always be a new Voicify user. Actually, we just have it. It's literally just user. Voicify user. It's our local. Is that it? What isn't this like? Oh, same thing. We should always have our user at this point. Oh, device comes first. Voicify device. we'll also just generate a GUID here. UID random, just string. Let's start new lining all this stuff. Android Studio loves to just add new things in here. And we need some more stuff. We need all the requires things. We'll say Android phone, and I'm just going to say that we support everything. True, 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 true. Actually, we could probably just set defaults for these, but it's too late now. We're already writing it. True, true, true. Is that enough? Is that enough trues? One too many trues. We're just going to support everything here. So, interestingly, we only actually need to change the context depending on the intent. So here we just want to say request context dot request name is actually result dot intent, and request context dot slots result dot slots, which is a map string to slot. Which actually reminds me, we probably don't need it to be a dictionary as much as we need it to be map. So we'll say, well, either way, we'll keep it as a dictionary of string to string, string to string. Yeah, that's what I thought. Map. Key. What's the actual implementation I want? What other map types are there? Hash map, probably fine. Unless this is also abstract. Yeah, we're gonna change this type actually. What's the shortcut for go to definition? I give up, we're going right to it. No dictionaries. We want hash maps. Technically we actually just need map. And I think that's our only one. There we go. Now, can I initialize this with some good stuff? Let's see. Kotlin initialize hash map. Yeah, hash map of. I knew there was shorthand for all this stuff. Okay. Hash map of. And we want result dot slots. Actually, can we just pass in result dot slots? Is it like a map? We get a map of key and value to. God, I can never remember this. What is this type? Result dot slots is a mutable map of string to slot. So I want Kotlin mutable map value to string. Okay, I can just call map value value to string. Yeah, that's what I want. So we can actually just do result dot slots dot map values of it value to string. Oh, are we still within context here? Is that why? Shadowed. Oh, we'll see if it works. We might just need to throw this into a different function and actually call it. Actually, let's just do that. Private fun get Voicify request. And we need the result type here. What is the type? Why can't I go to the type? Go to implementation. Oh, of course it's generic. Go to implementation. That's what I want, NLU result. So I want result, which is an NLU result. And I want to just take all this stuff. And eventually I want to return request model. Oh, I need to specify the type. Come on. There we go. Cool. Oh, and I need transcript. Sweet. So now you can just say val request equals get Voicify request and pass in transcript and result. Now let's finish our logic here, and now we don't have to worry about the shadowed scope and stuff like that. So this is all working. We'll want to do the same, or result.intent equals mayor zip code intent. Basically we want to do it for gov zip code intent, senator zip code intent, all zip code intent. Where's our, and mayor zip code intent. The rest we'll just run through the regular Voicify stuff. Okay. Or result intent equals gov, or result intent equals all zip code intent. Right. Then we build our request. Now we can actually use fuel. Basically say fuel.post. I'm just going to copy this exactly as is for now. We're going to swap our URL out, pull in our imports. This is going to be our Voicify response. I don't know why it doesn't like this. Type mismatch. Found nothing, nothing, nothing. I don't know if that's true. Alright, hold on. Let's grab our URL first. So back in Voicify, we want this whole thing. We could just set our default path ahead of time, but too late now. Alright, new line that. Response object. Show me something here. Required. Response deserializable. Are we like missing something here? Fuel also provides a built-in support for JSON deserialization. This is possible by including the JSON module in your dependency block. We already did that. It's like it's literally just right back to where we were. We're almost there. Okay. How are you defining the class? Like where did we actually build our models? Like this class here. This yeah, this is where we define it. In our implementations, we've got basically just a single file with all of our record classes or our data classes for our inputs and our outputs. So all the stuff that Voicify wants to map to this Swagger stuff is what we got. So we basically represent this response body structure with this custom assistant response just using a data class. So it basically just means all these are required, which they are. And so we're basically just trying to say this type is what we want. And I thought this worked. But maybe their docs might also be out of date. Like, let's see if we... Oh, that's why. We're actually just missing the import. Okay, so that's how we do it. This is our class that we defined. And now we have our result. But we do need to say not get. We want post. And hopefully this lets us just cleanly pass in our model. Can I just say request model? Is that going to be cool? Are we cool? No? None of the following functions can be called with the arguments supplied. Alright, let's see where in the fuel JSON structure, because it should be able to also serialize my stuff. Basic usage, right? Where's my post? Post. Post. Show me a sample of posting with data, because I don't want to have to map all this stuff. Oh yeah, sorry Eric. Yeah, the import fixed it. It's just an extension method, and there's an existing one there that doesn't use JSON, that uses like the actual like type initializer, and then the new JSON one just has an overload of the same extension that actually does the deserialization. So that's what we're missing. Body, my request body, JSON body. So I might just need to like stringify. I don't need any headers. Body file, input stream. Alright, it's fine. We can use JSON now that it's included. Kotlin serialize to string. We already got it. Alright, it's JSON to JSON, and we take our model. So, oh my gosh, every time I do that. So instead of doing it here, we want to pass a JSON body. Oh, here we go. Yes, okay, so I can't just pass in request model. Cool. Okay, now let's see if we can log dot let's see, we can do debug. WTF. We can do an info. Log.info, and we'll say Voicify response, and we'll pass in our result dot. Wait, where's our actual class? Shouldn't this be our type name? Shouted result. Uh-oh. Voicify result. Voicify result. What doesn't this like? Oh, it's never used. This should give me my type though. Hold on. Let's look. Fuel, JSON, handle response. Base path, headers, params, just feel like docs. See, this is what I used to have to do automatically. Like, this is what I was saying. Like, you have to pass in a deserializable, but that extension should just handle it for us. Oh, hold on. Maybe we need to do something. Oh, what? This is editable? What? Wait a minute. Anyway, component 1, that's the one. Dot output speech. All right. Let's see if we can get here. So let's round out everything we've got, right? So wait, is this still in the... Oh, hold on. I don't need to do this. I want to do it up here. And that. Okay. So basically what happens is... What is this not like? Yes. We literally just copied it. Request model. Is that what you want? Me to be able to do that? Oh, do we just need to live dangerously? Okay, so let's check everything. It all starts from our button click, all the way up here. So we do the button click, we check for the permission, which in this case we've already granted. If not, we do it and then we have to do it again. If the pipeline's running, we stop. If not, we start. We generate our session ID and we say pipeline.start. Now that means that we are waking it up using our VAD trigger for Android ASR, meaning that if I start talking, it'll start listening. I should be able to say, like, Senator of 02110, and what should happen there is that it should get down to here, into recognize. This transcript should say Senator of 02110. We'll call handle speech, which then runs through our NLU, which is using our model that we already cached, that was built from our Alexa model. We run through it. We then kick off the actual like check itself in a coroutine. So we're kicking it off in the background. This classify is going to get us our result, which will have the intent and the slots, which means that if we get down and start building our request model, if it's the saying Senator of 02110, should be Senator of zip code intent, in which case the request name should be Senator zip code intent. The slot should then be zip code and the value of the zip code, and we build the request model. We have our request model. We're then making a post to our endpoint with that JSON body, and then we should get a response back that should have the output speech of like, here's what I found, Elizabeth Warren. And I want to see that in the logs. So let's build, and then let me pull up Visor again. We're building, we're building. All right, we're almost there. Build finished, so we're succeeding. Let's debug. I don't think I have any breakpoints left though, which is fine. Actually, no, I'm gonna put a breakpoint in our final response, which is right here. So we'll put a breakpoint there. Let me make this not full screen again so we can actually side by side some stuff. All right, we're gonna start listening. Senator of 02110. We got our response. Hold on, where's my log? Stopping listening. Where's my log? Where's my log? Did we get it? Where's my log? Console. Okay, we got fallback. Let's take a look at our request model. Senator of 02110. Didn't like that. Okay. Hello? Hello? Oh, I'm on a breakpoint. Oh my god. It's getting late. Okay, anyway, let's take a look at our request model. Context. All zip code intent, which is fine. Look at our slots. Oh, zip code's capitalized. Interesting. So this, I think, is going to cause us an issue. We can always just camel case. We can map our keys, too. So here's the thing. We're setting up zip code, and we're also setting up the slot to string, but we want to pass raw value. So there's two things we got to do here. The reason why Pascal case doesn't work is in our Voicify controller, this get zip code is where we're handling like the cross-platform check to just grab it out of the slots. So if we get number, that's fine. This is from Lewis. We get number because it doesn't let us rename or give aliases to built-in types. This is the one. If it's camel case, it'll work. If it's not, it won't. So we can either update our webhook to handle basically like another case, like okay, now if we have one for Pascal case, then use that, or we can update it ahead of time. I'm thinking let's just do it for maybe even both, right? So in the C# side, I'm just gonna add another case here. Oop, zip code, or we're just gonna grab it if we have the Pascal case, and I can just haphazardly publish this like we have been. So now, while I'm running, actually I can even let this wait to finish deploying. Since we're on the breakpoint, we haven't sent the, oh no, it's still not going to work because this the value on the slot is wrong. All right, so down here, let's drop this. We don't really need it as much. We're super close. We don't just want to map values. We want to map value dot raw value dot to string. Do we need question marks here? Is that what this is? Nope, we're good. All right, let's debug this. This is up. We go check our Swagger. Everything is running. Let's do it. Senator of 02110. Let's check our request model. Oh my gosh. Context. Intent request, senator zip code, original input, slots, zip code, and 02110. Run it. Okay, we still got, you said something I don't understand yet. Oh no, it's still listening to me. Are we done? Are we done listening? Are we good? I should also just real quick while we're in here making updates, make it to not do now listening when we're not listening. No longer listening. Okay. What are we missing? We are getting back the response as expected, so we can take this a little bit further from here, which I think I'll do real quick. So basically, right, so this is where we were in the actual getting started documentation on the Android side. So we've got our global scope launch, we got our classify, and this is like, hey, now it's up to you to do stuff. That's what we just did. We did the stuff and we sent it to Voicify. We'll figure out the nuance of why it's not working, but talking back to users. So now we need to actually like set up our TTS manager, and we're going to build our TTS service. And then you can see here, if we just build a response from text, then we can synthesize it. Now, hopefully that actually outputs it. We should probably initialize this early. And I probably also need my ID and secret here, I bet, which we can grab. And then we'll synthesize our actual output speech property. So let's go back here. I can't believe this is this easy. We'll have a private var TTS text. We'll just leave it as a, we'll leave a node type for now. We'll finish that up. All right, down here where we initialize the pipeline, we also want to initialize our TTS. Bring in those namespaces. And this build, you're returning here. Why can't I see the return type? probably because I don't. What's wrong here? Unresolved reference. Set TTS service class. Unresolved reference. I wonder if this is also old. So we do have our Minecraft reference. What we have from before. Is this also just doing the TTS for us? This one's just using like the build Spokestack, which is using like the full thing here, which I think houses the rest of it. Yeah, because this actually has the TTS. Missing parens after builder, doc fail. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Wait. Hold on. Unresolved. Set output. What now, Josh? What did I miss? Here. Camel case. Oh. There we go. Good call. Alright, now we need to actually give this a type. What's the output type here? Oh, my cursor's freaking out. You see this? Cast expression. What is this? Alright, let's just say that's fine. What is my type here? Go to implementation. It is a TTS manager. That's all I wanted. Boom. You are a nullable TTS manager. Just want to make sure it wasn't going to build a different type. Okay. I do think I need to change these, our Spokestack ID and secret. But for now, what I should be able to do is down here with our output speech. We can log it all we want, but we should also be able to say TTS dot, what is the method here? Synthesis request build, and then we synthesize that. All right, oops, every time. Okay, so we'll say val TTS request, but instead of hello world, varl. Wow, I did both. Big brain. Except we want this. And then we want TTS synthesize TTS request. This is nullable, so we'll just slap a question mark in there. Alright, we've got no build errors. Let's see if we can get it to work, and if not, we probably need to change our secrets first. I'll keep debugging, but we might end up just taking the debugger off, or at least take the breakpoints off, and go from there. Hello, dog. Something broke. Unable to start activity. Class not found exception. IO, Spokestack, TTS, Spokestack, TTS output. Is there an import I'm missing or something? So the issue is that this class can't be initialized. Right, is it the TTS service or the output? No, it's the output. You just try something here. That's exactly the same. Okay, we'll just try that again. Nope. Unable to start activity. Why can't you find this class? You know it exists. Is it a loading thing? Can I not do this on start? Could take a look at our Minecraft example again. Although I think, again, like this is all housed in the Spokestack class here. Build Spokestack. I don't think it's the class itself. To use automatic playback, you need the exo player dependency. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah. Actually, we probably have media, but I'll grab it just in case. Yeah, I think we have the lifecycle stuff because we initialize it with Android X, but we'll find out. Maybe not. Maybe, are we not even using Android X? Uh-oh. We might run into some potential conflicts, but between this app compat stuff and the Android X stuff. No, wait, we got navigation and all that. Never mind. Never mind. Did our sync work? I wasn't looking. Debug again. Build. All right, we're up. Oh, sorry, visor's not showing. We are up. 02110. Let's see if we just let it rip.
You said something I don't understand yet. You can say your zip code to get all of the government information for your area, or ask for a specific office such as Governor of 2110. You said something I don't understand yet. You can say your zip code to get all of the government information for your area, or ask for a specific office such as Governor of 2110.
Every time I do, gosh, I gotta turn this down. Every time I do a build in Android Studio, the thing takes off. I gotta move my microphone farther away. It's not even the emulator. I'm literally running on a real device. Like, I'm looking at my phone from here. I'm just doing basically screen share over visor. It's more that's just like Android Studio builds are bad. Sound up so I can hear it. Hear it. I'll move it further away from the machine, and then you can hear me even more. Okay, so speech synthesis works. We just need to figure out why we're not getting the response back that we want. So let's take a look at the request model again. I need to reattach the debugger. Senator of 02110. Okay. Let's take a look at our request model. I'm just going to look at it down here in my watch. All this looks right. We've got a unique session ID. We've got our slots of zip code 02110. We've got a device that supports everything. I wonder if it's getting serialized weirdly. We've got a user with an ID and a name. We've got a request ID. Senator zip code intent. Senator 02110. Locale is right. Like this looks exactly like what we were sending over here. Channel, Android app requires language understanding. Did we forget that? Nope. Oh, this should be false. That's why. Okay. Almost there. So down here when we build ours, when we're doing this, because we already did the training for the ones that we hit against our model, we can just say request context dot requires language understanding to false, because we already did the language understanding instead of letting Voicify do it. All right, I think this is our moment of truth. If we can get Find My Rep coming up from our mobile app with our little mail fab, then I think we're good to call it, and then Sunday on the next stream we'll work on iOS, Xamarin stuff, and we'll make this a lot cleaner. All right, here we go. Senator of 02110. These breakpoints. What did I miss here? Stop listening? Oh, sorry, I'm not even showing this. Okay. Senator of 02110. What did I miss? Are we just like not getting a response back or something? Or maybe now it actually needs to wake up the API to do something. Alright, we'll put a breakpoint here. Senator of 02110. Alright. Alright, what's our output speech? Oh, we just logged it. Console. Oh, look at this. Look at this massive. I wonder if it's just so damn big that it's just going to take a while to synthesize. Look at this. We got all the actual results back. Damn. Okay. We're just not getting the actual TTS. Senator of 02110. It's pretty quick too. Oh, here's what we got. Response code 410. Oh, we gotta stop listening. Source error. Our EXO player is throwing an error. We are getting the response though. Look at this. Here's what I found. Elizabeth Warren, and you can call them at 202 blah blah blah. Can you scroll right on line 143? Yes, sorry. So this is the actual. Oh, whoops, we're dragging. We're just logging what the output speech is that we're getting back from Voicify. And then we're building the TTS request from it and then synthesizing that. So this log here is what I'm highlighted on over here. Let me full screen this, it'll be easier. So I said Senator of 02110, so I expect to get, here's what I found, Elizabeth Warren, you can call them at 202, right? Because I can do it from here on Alexa. Alexa, ask Find My Rep, who is the Senator of 02110?
Here's what I found. Elizabeth Warren. And you can call them at 202-224-4543. Would you like to learn about your governor?
Exit. Right, so it's like the exact response that we got here. It looks like something's just going wrong with actually outputting it. I don't know if it's because I got like some weird bad grammar in here. Stopping on the breakpoint for long enough that the TTS server is throwing away your audio. Yeah. Okay, let's kill this then. Alright, bringing back up Visor. Senator of 02110. It's dispatching it, but it's not getting back. I'm not sitting on any other breakpoints, am I? Oh, hold on. Let's stop this. Let's also do it, like I said, we don't need the active listening. Can you increase the timeout? Maybe. I think one of the other things I want to do is just stop listening after we do hit something and just do like explicit button presses for each one. because once it starts to like pick something up, it starts listening to me again, and I'm wondering if we're hitting conflicts of something. So let's do this. In our, I guess we want to just say pipeline.stop whenever we get handle speech. All right, so every time you want to talk, you got to hit the button again. I think that's probably our best bet. Are we building? Did it build? Or did it, what happened there? What do we, okay, we're up. All right. Senator of 02110. That was a good sign. Missing here. Okay. Senator of 02110. Right, so we're getting our response back pretty quick. And I think something's just timing out here. Did I like hit a throttle or something? Because I didn't actually use my keys. But this should just be ExoPlayer. One thing I should do though. Doesn't seem like there's anything to cause a delay. Yeah, I mean, like we got it to work with like the regular response that was short. The only other thing I could think of is like, if we look at, I know it's kind of hard to read here. If we look at the output speech, right, here's what I found, Elizabeth Warren. There's some like grammatical errors in here. Like we have like a comma with no space next to it. That's probably like the only one. There's some like double spaces and stuff, but I don't know if that would matter. I can fix those though, and we can see. Another thing I just want to do real quick is also try to do it with my credentials instead of the ones from the demo, unless this is like automatically filling it in somehow. And I need to add a new token. Yeah, that's what I was thinking I was gonna do next. Oh, actually I want to grab this. No one steal my secrets. Let's try with this, and then yeah, we'll do a hard-coded string again. If that's the case, then it's definitely, yes. Damn it, Eric. It's all going to YouTube anyway. I'm literally gonna just swap these later. I need to put these somewhere that's going to be git ignored anyway before I commit all this. I probably should have been committing along the way, but it's too late. Okay. Oh, whoops, I stopped debugging. I want to re-debug. Alright, let's try it with my keys. Key should be fine. Okay. Yeah, I have a feeling it's something with the input string. I'll just double check real quick before we go down that route. Okay. Senator of 02110. Alright, yeah, let's try the static string. It was immediate when we had like the, I mean, the other one wasn't even static. It was just coming back with an error. Like if I get rid of this, it worked. All right, let's just do this. Gosh, I hate writing all this code in one class, but I just need to get over it. Let's just comment this whole line. Whoops. And we'll say, oh, hello there, stream. Let's debug it. Okay, Senator of 02110.
Oh, hello there, Sri.
Alright, that worked. Yeah, so shorter there was fine. Let's go clean up that response then. So let me undo this, right? Because it should be fine once we fix it. All the code's right. But what we were getting back was from our civic response service, where we're building all this stuff out. Not too worried about the get all, because that's going to be a whole other thing. Alright, here's what I found. Official name, space. Boom. Nailed it. Alright, let's make sure we got some spaces in the other one too. Response has a space. We got spaces all over this. Space and a space here. And a space there. Okay. We'll shamelessly publish it and then we'll try again. Really liking this. Yeah, I know. I've said it every time. It wasn't a comma to fix, it was a space after the comma, which we just did. It's on the official's response. It was right here. We didn't have a space. I know. I've been right-click publishing on stream all week. Nothing scares me. Okay, we'll keep this up. We'll get this up. All right. Senator of 02110. Alright, I mean, we have our response. Here's what I found. Elizabeth Warren. And it's a colon. That should be allowed, right? Josh, are colons allowed? Is this okay? We can just get rid of all special characters. We can try that. Or is there somewhere else? I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the only other thing I could think of. Or even like the parentheses, maybe? Let's actually just try this, right? Let's take this as a string, and let's break it down until we get it to work. We'll just make it static. Okay. Comment this. About TTS request equals synthesis request builder dot build. All right, we'll start there with the static one. Then, if that, I mean, it's exactly what it is, so, oh, whoops, no, we don't need to do remote debugging. Okay, so this should just happen no matter what I say. Hello there. Right, still nothing. Let's get rid of the colon. Sorry, we're gonna debug it now, Josh. You can go to bed if you want. It's too late. We're in it, and I'm here to see this all the way through. We're gonna see if it's the phone number. We're gonna try getting rid of the colon first, and then we're gonna get rid of the. Yeah, I think it's the colon. It might also be like the phone number. All right. Hello there. Oh, it didn't actually catch me. Hello there. How are you? Yeah, we get the SSML. Alright, so that's still failing. So it wasn't the colon. Suck it, Eric. We get the SSML output. Is it the same thing? Is it just the same endpoint if we use SSML? Because basically what we get back is we're using this output speech property, which is like a cleaned up version. But Voicify returns back an SSML response wrapped in speech tags. We actually have like a break in here too. Is it just the same thing, or is there a different function I'm supposed to call if it's SSML versus plain text for the builder? right, here's what we're gonna do though. We're gonna get rid of these parentheses. I'm just even gonna do that, and it's gonna say it's like 2 billion whatever. We can tell it to say it as a phone number with SSML later. All right. Add with mode before build. Okay, we'll try that after too. I'm just gonna get rid of some more special characters. So now all we've got are apostrophes, periods, and commas, I think. There is this suspicious like double space, or I guess it's like a triple space. Because it looks like it's just breaking up from the break tag, which has space around it. But we'll find out. Thought I just said debug. Supposed to not say the last part. Yeah, I see what you mean. All right, hold on. Let's do it. Hello, how are you today? Whoop. That probably just messed stuff up all on its own. Hello, how are you today? Help intent, sure. Even that. I wonder if it's too long. Maybe it's the long number. Let's say a phone number. We'll try that. Again. Maybe it is the triple space. I don't know what the EXO player's deal is. Alright, we're back. Pull visor up again. Hello, how are you doing?
Here's what I found.
It's
A
the
list of
numbers!
four, and you can call them at a phone number. Would you like to learn about your governor?
Yo, now check this out though, because I think this will... Oh, no, we need to return the response. Okay, so... Yeah, why didn't it like the number? I wonder if we do with SSML if that'll support it, because technically numbers are supported, and I wonder if default output speech is not cool with it. So let's do this. We'll leave this commented, and I want to leave it here because we know it works. So we want to do SSML, and what was the thing you said in there, Josh? With mode.ssml. Sorry, my lines are all over the place here. Let's do this. We'll break it at this point. Just get omitted from the... Yeah. Okay, SSML should be fine with those things properly wrapped. They're not... I don't think they're going to come back wrapped in phone number. But they are... I mean, like, the whole thing's wrapped in speak. So, like, if we look at this example where we're getting, like, Charlie Baker... The whole thing's wrapped in speak. We have a break, but, like, the phone number's still plain text. Well, we can find out. Let's do it. Now I can't just say whatever I want. I'll get the fallback or help message. Actually, we probably can. I can show you how the rest of it works too, but let's see. Okay. Senator of 02110. Oh, I did it again. Senator of 02110. No, doesn't like it. Maybe I need to wrap it in the say as telephone. Let's see if we can get like the fallback message to work. Hello, how are you doing today?
You said something I don't understand yet.
That's what we wanted.
You can say your zip code to get all of the government information for your area, or ask for a specific office such as Governor of 2110.
2110. Alright, I mean, we're getting our actual responses from Voicify back, and it's speaking them if there's no phone numbers. We can try real quick, and this will be the last thing I try, and then we'll call it quits and do the rest on the Sunday stream. So we're building the SSML output. When we get the phone number. We want to do this as a say as interpret as telephone, and close the say as. I feel like I always need to check these. I'm so used to doing it in Voicify. Hold on, I'm actually just going to do it in Voicify because it's faster. So if I just like wanted to throw in phone number. Okay. Say as interpret as telephone. Say as did I spell interpret wrong? Interpret as telephone. Okay. Try number instead of telephone. It does come back as a string with like the parentheses and stuff around it. So I don't know if like say as number or say as digits would work on it, because like this is the format it's in. We can try it though. I mean, we'll try with telephone, and then we'll try it with number, and then we'll call it quits. We could always just do pre-processing and basically just like detect the phone number in the string and replace it with like the spoken word of it. Yeah. It's like one last game. Yeah. It's 2 a.m. Hello, chat. Eric, why are you still here? I've lost hope. But we have one more thing to try. Okay. I shouldn't need to change anything on the client. Hello. Senator of 02110. Still doesn't like it. Alright, let's try number. Josh, should it be number or digits? I know that they're like technically interchangeable to some extent. For this sort of thing. Okay. Hey man, yeah, no worries. Alright, yeah, let's do number. Hopefully the number doesn't break the existing Google and Alexa stuff. Let's see. I want to make sure I do that before I push it to production in the same way. So let's see. Google, we want say as, interpret as. We do cardinal, ordinal. Yeah, see, I don't know if they have number. Which means that it would be ignored if someone tried to use it on Google if we published with this. Let's see. Same thing. Google, say as. Cardinal is number. Do they supply the alias for cardinal? Josh, can you guys support cardinal, which is an alias for it, but Google doesn't support number and only supports cardinal? Because if we can do cardinal, then I can use that and we'll be safe on all the platforms. We'll even see if it does. Google actions, say as number. Number. Oh, that right click. That's something that can be done. Alright, we can try number, and if it works, then we'll know it works, and then we'll undo it just so that we don't break Google. We can also just check real quick on Google, I guess. Alright, civic response info, we want that. I'm also going to switch this on the client side from logging the output speech to logging the actual SSML, which is... I can't even keep track of this bad code. SSML. Okay. We'll run this, and we will shamelessly deploy that. Did this fail? No? It like worked but didn't run it. Alright, hold on. There we go. Alright. Senator of 02110. Wake up, Azure. Speak. Here's what I found. Elizabeth Warren. You can call them as, say as, interpret as, number, and break time 0.25 seconds. Punctuation in the phone number. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like it. That's what I was saying, because we're getting it directly. Just for context here, we're getting this phone number directly from the Google Civics API, and it's actually just a list of string, and some of them are like formatted slightly differently. Like some of them have like the dashes all the way through, some of them have the parentheses. I mean, I could always like try to replace it with a raw number. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, we can strip special characters. The problem is it's not going to be read properly from Alexa or Google if we do that, which we have people actually using it, so I don't want to get, like, too dangerous there.
I don't know that one.
No, you never do you? Alright, I'm going to republish this just so that we're safe. And I do want to show one thing, though, which I think is really cool. Hopefully it'll work. But outside of all the senator stuff and these more complicated responses, we can solve those later. Let me close all of this stuff. But before we sign off, I do want to show off some cool stuff that we can do now, even with this basic setup. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I was just going to regex replace the phone number on the client side and leave it safe on the server side. And I think we'll probably just do that on Sunday. But let's do this. So in Voicify, I can go add a new conversation item, and I really want to see if this works. So for example, I'll create a new question and answer, and I'll say, how was the stream? Right? And we can put in some phrases here for how someone might say it. Even just a couple, doesn't need to represent all of them. You can say, the stream was awesome today. We learned how to use the Spokestack tools and even got some Android code working with Voicify. And now if I just save and activate this, I should be able to, on this side, maybe, unless we get fallback, and actually no, this will be fine anyway. How was the stream tonight? It's not exactly what I expected.
The stream was awesome today. We learned how to use the Spokestack tools, and even got some Android code working with Voicify.
Voicify. Yeah, how sick is that, though? We literally, like, actually got it running, and we can handle Voicify responses coming from an Android app using Spokestack. And I was going to say, what's the delay? Did you guys get the whole thing? Cool thing is, like, those updates are live, too. So, for example, I can even say, like, Alexa, open Find My Rep.
Welcome to Find My Rep.
Alexa,
You can find...
tell me about the stream.
The stream was awesome today. We learned how to use the Spokestack tools and even got some Android code working with Voicify.
I mean, like, it's on every platform now, and now, you know, we just have the next platform being our awesome Android app that's in progress. So I think in general, it's really cool the way, you know, how easily this sort of worked out. We just spun it up, set a button. Spokestack made all the annoying ASR stuff super easy, and the TTS, and you know, we just used Voicify for all the conversational routing. So I'm pretty happy with that. We just got to figure out how we can rip out the phone numbers and make them consumable by the Spokestack TTS service. That shouldn't be too hard. We just got to actually write some client-side code. So I think that's going to be all for today. So my next stream is Sunday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, as I'm in the Boston area. We're going to continue doing this. We're going to clean up the Android app. We're going to try to get one set up on Swift and iOS, and we're also going to look at doing Xamarin bindings. I don't know about the order of that. We might just skip the Swift stuff because honestly, I don't want to have to try to like stream from my Mac. I'd rather see if we can do bindings and just get it to work with Xamarin and do it all in C#. And then I think what would be really, really cool, right, if we get this working with Find My Rep, that's awesome. And then we're going to do it for the Warzone controller too, which I think this situation is actually like an even better use case than the Alexa stuff. So we'll get it set up with the Warzone controller so I can just like plop my phone right here, have it always listening instead of turning off and on, and basically just yell commands at it and have it actually change what I'm doing in game. So like I have some highlight videos on my stream from last Sunday where we got it working with Alexa and a Twitch bot, where I still had to say like, Alexa, tell Warzone controller to shoot. But if I can just sit here and just be like, shoot, 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 and my guy is actually shooting on my desktop, I feel like that's gonna be sick. So we'll wrap those up. We'll submit both of them to the contest, and we'll also probably come up with some other use cases. This is my first time using Spokestack in this environment. Honestly, this is sick. For those of you in chat from the team, Josh, thanks so much for all the help. Mike, I don't know if you're still on there, but thanks for helping out earlier on. Noel was on too. Thanks for the help. And I think that's everyone that I see just scrolling through the chat history here from the Spokestack team. You guys are awesome, man. Keep up the good work, and I'll be back on Sunday, 12:30. Doing more of it. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks, Eric, for all the help, man. I couldn't have done it without you. And I'll see you all later. So, peace.